Chai wala. Okay, gotta call the chai wala. Going to call the chai wala. The chai wala. Oh, the chai wala is calling me. Answering the chai wala. Chai wala!
Hey.
Hey, how come the screen gets huge? Does your Google screen get huge when you click on the video icon and it just pops up as a huge screen? You can't like minimize it immediately. It's not minimized in the chat window.
Just press escape.
No, but does yours do that or not?
No, mine starts in like minimize.
What the hell? Why does mine always start out huge? Why can't it remember? This is such a chaiwala program.
Well, press escape and then maybe next time it'll.
I just did pop out, pop in. Let me do escape. Boop. Oh, it went back. Chaiwala. I lost the chaiwala. I lost the chaiwala. The chaiwala's back. Welcome to Manhood Academy podcasting. For legal reasons, I have to let my fellow podcaster Boggles know that this conversation is being recorded, that anything you say can be used against you in a sexually explicit way. There may be sexual harassment during this podcast, so I'm required by law to let you know that you're being videotaped. Anything in your bedroom, anything you're wearing right now could be on the podcast. Even if we make this a video cast, it could happen. Okay, so don't make me forget. We got to talk about, you're the new sidekick. You're basically, nobody applied for the job.
Okay.
You're always online.
Yeah.
You're a total nerd, and now you have the job as a sidekick on the podcast. How does that happen?
I always wanted to do the sidekick job anyway.
So. You know what? You're like a perfect compliment. Whereas Dr. Ladice more falls asleep when he's on the podcast because he's become so uber cool.
Yeah,
and so
he's a cool guy.
He's in a new zone. He's in a super cool zone right now. So it's difficult to approach him for conversation. Whereas you are the antithesis of Ladice. You're such a super nerd that you're willing to get naked and run down the street to entertain people. So you make the perfect compliment on a podcast. Sweet.
I'm glad.
You're so excited. That's what we need. New enthusiasm. Dice falls asleep during podcasts because he's heard it a billion times before. He's like, yes, Plum, get to the point. I'm bored already. But you are like, oh, Plum, where did you wipe today? Did you pee in a bottle today? I want to know. So you're always excited about my every activity.
Everything is new and fascinating.
I know, it's new and fascinating. It validates me. It makes me like so happy that I want to share everything with you. You know what? I'm going to spill the beans with you today. I'm going to tell you about the 3 pickups in a row I made.
Okay.
And I'm going to tell you I'm just going to give you a rundown of what's been going on because I think I have some things I want to cover in the podcast, but on the other hand, I'm not sure. I kind of want to talk about like what it's like to kind of socialize and talk to people and whatnot. So I kind of want to give people a sense of what I'm doing. But on the other, I don't want to discourage people and go, oh, Plum is talking to 15 girls at once. Why can't I do that? But on the other hand, I kind of want to like just go over situations to see if anybody can relate to specific ones, or we can answer questions while they come up. So maybe something will be useful in it. So I'm hoping something will jump out as useful. If not, maybe it'll at least be entertaining. Mm-hmm. So they'll feel like they're at a movie. They paid for the popcorn. At least the movie didn't suck, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. First of all, what should we cover first? Should we cover stories? Let's cover the business stuff first, okay? So for podcast notes, I wrote down touching because I'm not sure if I covered enough about touching in the ebook and the principles of social competence. Do you recall anything that we talked about touching?
I don't recall enough touching.
Kino, you fag. What Boggles is referring to, kino, the term which comes from kinesthetic, which is another homosexual PUA term to, make cool terminology. PUAs like to develop like Dungeons and Dragons lingo, like the chode, the AFC, the kino, like you're touching a girl. I'm kinoing a girl. Why would they say that? Who knows? They're just trying to be retardedly cool. So I wanted to cover touching and what types of touching and I'm not even sure what I want to cover, but I wanted to at least talk about it because I noticed in some respects it's kind of important. I didn't want to emphasize, I knew at the beginning I didn't want to emphasize touching because I want to emphasize social skills, like being able to talk to somebody without, PUAs emphasize, you got to get to her tits, you got to touch her the touch escalation ladder, I got to touch her toe, then touch her nose, then touch her boobs, then touch her vagina, They got this whole crazy escalation ladder of touching is retarded. Just completely discounts the whole point of getting your expectations met, of managing your expectations effectively. They're basically trying to go in through the back door. And I don't mean the butt. I mean the back door in a sense where they're trying to do things kind of deceptively or in a way that doesn't arouse suspicion, like what you're doing. Like you'll
Trojan virus.
Yeah, like a Trojan virus, exactly, a PC. Like they're incidentally touching the arm, like saying, oh, hey, I have an interesting comment to make while you're touching the arm. So it sounds like that whole thing you're saying is connected to the actual touch. Like the touch has a purpose. Just like, it's like making a pretense for the touch. It's like you saying, exactly akin to saying, what time is it? It's like you making a pretense for conversation. So they're trying to design all these pretenses for touch. I even saw this, I see like a bunch of faggy PUA videos all the time. Like this one guy was talking about a parachute. I hold your hand and see when I pull the cords. And he's actually like moving her hands around, demonstrating he's pulling the cords. And I twirl you in the air like this and this. And it gives him basically a pretense to move her and touch her all over, I'm not sure if he said, when I open the chute, I pull on the chute cords and he pulls on her tits to give him a, pretense to touch her tits. I'm sure he didn't go that far, but you get the point. Just creating like these silly pretenses. But on the other hand, I remember seeing this video. It's like, I think it's like some kind of old video. It's like 70s video or something. It talks about touching. Like, it's this old lady talking about touch. And on one hand, they talk about it like touching is a necessary thing. Like, they cover the aspects of why touching is perceived as negative. Like, if you're a guy touching a kid, it's perceived as like you're a pedophile. But actually, when you're guys growing up, having fun, you like touch each other naturally. Like you're wrestling, you're touching each other. Like in class, we don't necessarily touch each other. But like sometimes I'll just go, good job or something, or I'll grab Andrew and shake his back or something like that. And I'm aware that I'm doing that. But I'm like, this is like, I'm considering this necessary touch, like a validating touch, like an approving touch, like a pleasurable touch. The same with like you're growing up with kids. You're always touching your friends. It's not like a gay thing. It's just like, you're running around the field playing soccer or something and you like high five and you tackle and get each other in headlocks. And it's almost like natural to touch each other when you're young. Whereas when you grow up, you're like more conditioned to like think of it as a gay thing, And then, I was kind of considering, because I heard from a Korean friend that, when they go walk down the street, it's natural for guys, college age guys that walk arm in arm, where they have the arms around each other.
I used to do that in India.
Yeah, like it's a very affectionate thing. Hold on, I gotta turn off this chat room. Click.
Like I was 14 or 15. Hold my buddy's arm like this with my arm.
Yeah, it's like your buddies. It's like a comforting touch. It's not a sexual touch. It's just like, this is your buddy. It's like a high five in America. It'd be akin to high fiving in America. Or like getting somebody a headlock or something. Whereas ours is more like, once it goes past a certain time limit, it becomes gay. Like in our minds, like, I'm holding your hand for 5 minutes, or I'm having my arm around you for a minute. It's completely gay. You expect the dude to kiss you. But in Korea, they're walking around each other arm in arm. And so that made me consider like, what is the normal time limit? Like, if we didn't have stupid fear and hysteria about, all men are pedophiles, all men are sex addicts, sex offenders, etc., what would be a normal amount of time for touching a guy who's your friend, like a close friend? What would be a normal amount of time? So I was kind of considering that. I think it definitely has to be longer than, in America, which is just like very brief touches or, high fives or just a hug at most. A hug between two guys is a pretty intense event in America. And then you go to like someplace like Korea or wherever you said, India, where guys hold on to each other for, for days at a time, holding on each other's cocks, no problem. So I think there's got to be some, maybe India is the norm for holding on each other for maybe, I don't know, half hour or
it's changing like
10 minutes.
We're copying America.
Okay, versus, is that the norm, or is there a norm between the two extremes? I don't want to just go out on, and use stupid cliches that aren't even based in, any kind of reasonable thought where we just go, oh, it has to be somewhere in between. Because America might be way off and India might be just like right on. So I was always kind of curious about that. What is the norm without these kind of crazy fear-based boundaries and, all these crazy retarded social expectations we have in America about sex and touch?
Holding each other's hand and walking around, and they're not lesbian.
Yeah, especially girls do that all the time. They they hold each other arm in arm and they don't feel lesbian, and guys don't think of it as that's lesbian. Those are two girls that are friends. It's normal for them to touch each other. So conversely, how normal is it for guys to touch each other? How long is a normal touch? That's what I'm curious about. We're gonna have to research that. That's
but I
your
think it's
research.
more the intention with the touch. Like I touch you, it's like if I'm a gay dude, you touch a gay.
Yeah,
dude.
but if you're not two gay dudes and you're just buddies, how long is a normal touch for us to be like hanging out together? We're just like hanging out on the couch. We're just talking about stuff.
I could walk a mile with my buddy with my arm over his shoulder, and it won't be gay, depending it's the intention.
Yeah, but how long is it just till you get there, or what precipitates you to put your arm around him, and what makes you take it off?
When your arm gets tired or it's no longer comfortable to keep your arm around your buddy.
So it just depends when you're tired. But what motivates you to put your arm around him? That you like him, that he's your buddy, or just there's a reason for you to put your arm around him?
Hey, buddy, yeah. Just like, hey, let's walk over there.
Yeah, like when you greet guys here, though, you go, hey, buddy, and you bro hug them or whatever, and you put your arm around him for a second, or you bump fists or something, but you don't like sustain that touch. It feels unnatural because of the American culture. So what time limit, what motivates it to keep the touch going longer is what I'm saying. Or asking.
I'm trying to remember my touching.
Yeah, you'll have to remember your touching stories for that. So let me see if I can cover something practically. We won't talk about time limit because in America there's that social expectation where guys shouldn't touch guys for extended periods of time, and if you're touching each other, I'm not going to try and create new social expectations right off the bat in America, but I'm at least going to try and cover the point that guys, when you're social, guys who are social people do touch. And I'm emphasizing now not sexual touch between guys and girls, but I'm emphasizing just friendly touch between guys. Like if I see you and I'm greeting you, it's okay for me to squeeze your shoulders, grab your arm, hug you. That's where in America we would have like hugs where you kind of grab the guy's fist across your chest, and then you guys kind of pull each other in for like a bump in the chest, like a chest bump. So there's that kind of touching. Between friends, when you're making a point or doing something, you would shake them or touch their head, etc. Those types of things are what I would consider, even though they're not, I would say not the norm of our social expectations. I would say for a healthy social person that they would constitute like a normal type of touching. So even me, I've been conditioned, and I know I've been conditioned to. I got a text here from a chick. Oh, do I have to take this or not? Let me cover this last point, and I'm going to pause it, and I'll call you back in a second because we want to finish this. All right, but let me just make the point here that there's a certain context we have for touching in our minds, but I think that when you become more social, you realize that touching is normal, whereas when you're not social, you feel it's very abnormal. You feel it's because again, the emphasis is mostly on touching girls, but they don't consider guys don't consider touching other guys as like a necessary step in their socialization. But I think it's very important that you learn how to touch guys in a non-sexual way. You learn how to shake their hand for a longer time or pull them in, grab them around the neck. Even guys, I know that guys stiffen up sometimes when they feel a guy grab them around the neck and they just feel uncomfortable. And it's kind of hard to introduce that social expectation to another person or your personal expectation where, hey, it's okay for me to touch you. But I think if you do it like maybe incrementally in steps and practice touching other guys, like just give them a shake on the shoulder or a squeeze. I even give guys a squeeze on the shoulder, a squeeze on the arm or something like that to let them know, look, this is a friendly touch. I want to touch you to let you know that I'm affectionate. I consider you a friend. So I think it's important that even me growing up, I feel it's like almost an abnormal thing to touch a guy. But I mean, when you're not thinking about it, when you're doing sports and stuff like that, and you're very close contact with guys, it feels more natural to touch a guy. But when you're not in like a sporting context or you're just hanging out with friends and you're not wrestling or anything, like to touch them feels more abnormal. You're more aware of it. So I think even it's good to practice touching other guys,
like tapping someone on the
tapping
shoulder.
them on the shoulder. Yeah, let me know, good job, like this, like good job. Or coming up behind them and giving like a quick little massage, press on the back, something like that. Where it's not a super extended so they don't feel uncomfortable because they're so used to the social expectation of we're never supposed to touch our guys, but at least you're the squeezing. I think they appreciate that. Even if they might stiffen up by the initial reaction, I think just the fact that they get to touch itself feels like comforting. It's almost like when your dad touches you. Your parents don't touch you. It's weird if your parents don't touch you. They grow up touching you. I feel it's the same type of touch when a father touches a son. I think it's the same thing between friends. It's like that friendly, natural touch. Like if I saw a kid, a son of mine, I'd pick him up, scoop him up. I'd be hugging him. I'd be carrying him. Or I'd be just like hands on his shoulders while he's doing something. It wouldn't feel unnatural. So I think it's a practice. You got to at least practice building that up. Okay, we're going to come back and cover some other stuff.
Some people do it in like a party environment.
Yeah, and it's when they're more drunk. Drunk people touch you more. I think that's a demonstration of, look, it's more natural for me to touch. I don't have the inhibition.
My friend would do that all the time when he was drunk. He would like, hey, bro.
I'm not monitoring myself. Like the alcohol inhibits your self-monitoring, so you're not so neurotic and worried. And that's also the reason why people drink alcohol to, quote, quote, loosen up. And then they get more touchy-feely because it feels like a more natural thing to do. So
yeah,
I think
it's like, except you wouldn't do something like that at work. At work, it's kind of like, people.
Yeah, thanks for that. All right, now you can shut up. I'm going to end this call. I'll call you back in a second. Got to take care of this real quick. Peace. Beep. Pause it now. So cover this little, what is this little funny theory? What is the funny theory now? Yeah, you said you get all like creamy or something. I don't understand it. Explain that. You get all creamy when I make you laugh. What is that about?
Oh my gosh, I don't want to get into this.
No, I want to get into this now. I want to get into this with you right now. Okay, so if let's say I tell a joke. Actually, I don't even tell jokes. I don't go like, hey, a rabbi in a...
These are really funny, actually.
What's that?
Are you telling me a bar joke? A rabbi,
yeah.
a priest, or
no,
in a bar?
I've never told a rabbi joke in my life. The point is, when I'm funny, it's like I make a little humorous observation, or I just like say something that's funny to you. Now, when you hear that funny thing...
That's cute. Yes.
Does that get you all soggy though?
Does it get me? Did you say foggy or
Soggy, like moist. Do your panties get wet? Does your vagina moisten? Do the walls of your vagina get moist?
Yes, sometimes.
What do you mean sometimes? How do you know what time? Is it like a certain amount of humor?
What you're joking about? Yeah.
What?
You know what? Sometimes you're tastefully funny and sexual, and sometimes you're over the top, like too much.
Okay, what's tastefully funny? Tell me what's
but
tastefully funny.
Sometimes you're like, it's like okay, chill a little bit. That's you, so I like it. It's fine. But sometimes it's just cute. And it's like, oh, it kind of warms your heart.
Oh, because you like me. Because you like me, then it's okay. But if you didn't like me, like I was a stranger and I did joke that way, then you'd be like, "What the fuck?"
You are a stranger, though. That's the scary part about it. Is you really still are a stranger to me.
I like that. I like that I'm a dark, mysterious stranger, and I could still talk about your.
I don't want you to be.
Your wet, sexy pussy.
A little bit more.
Your little wet, sexy pussy.
Hey.
Did you hear what I just said?
I
said wet, sexy pussy. I can't believe I just said that to you. I'm a total stranger. I've only known you for like one day, and already I'm telling you, wet, sexy pussy. Oh my gosh. What are the neighbors going to think?
I need to ask you a question.
I need to ask you a question.
Can I ask you a couple questions? And
Can I ask you a question?
Honest with you?
Can I ask you a question?
If you promise you'll answer mine.
Okay. Can I ask you a question now? When are you going to shut up?
Yes.
When are you going to shut up?
Yeah. That's the part I don't like. But go ahead.
Does that part get you wet? Does it get you moist when I tell you that?
No. When you say shut up, no.
Are you fingering yourself right now?
No, I'm not.
I like how your breathing is like super heavy when you talk to me. It's hot.
All right. What was your question, or was that it?
That was it. That was my question. Okay. It wasn't so stupendous, spectacular. I didn't want to make a huge question.
I thought it was going to be something of importance or something of weight or something, but that was your question.
That was super important.
That was a great question.
That was super important.
Super.
It's because you're so prudy. It's because you're so sarcastic and prudy.
What?
You're so sarcastic and prudy. You're like a prudish person.
Prudy. But I'm really not. If you think about, I don't think I am, considering what I've done with you, and I don't really know you very well.
I know. I like that you've been so dirty and naughty, and all your Mormon upbringing is protesting it. You're like, no, I shouldn't put my legs up like that. No, I shouldn't bend over like that. It's wrong. But it's so tawdry.
Can I ask
you
a question?
Dangerous.
You'll be honest?
Yes, I am a vampire, and I want to have dangerous vampire sex with you.
Yeah, we already did that.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying we can again, but are you going to be honest with me?
It depends on if you're nagging me or not, because naggy people, they only get spankings.
I'm not.
Look at is your frustration sexual? If we had makeup sex right now, would it relieve all your sexual frustration right now?
Absolutely.
You know what? You see your little grade school sarcasm right there? You think you're a tough guy? Guess what's going to happen?
That wasn't supposed to be tough. That was being truthful. Absolutely.
Oh, so you absolutely... Are you admitting you want to have sexual relations with a total stranger? Is that what you're trying to admit to me?
No, I would never say that.
You are a liar. You are a liar. Admit it right now.
Now you're saying you're a total stranger.
Admit it right now.
I need you.
I'm like a black guy who just saw you at a payphone, even if there was a payphone around, and I was like, ma'am, could I have a quarter and also a blowjob? What if I was like that?
No, that wouldn't happen for me.
You never know. What about if it was me, though? What if I was the guy?
Well, here's the thing. If you the first time you kissed me, if you kissed me and I wasn't turned on, then I would have like pushed you in. I would have been like, yeah, no, I don't know you. But for some reason I felt something, so I was like, all right.
You were tingly and you were like, okay, this kiss, I'm going to let it happen. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying at the time, I wasn't expecting it, and I was like, whoa, what's
You're like, doing? Whoa, this is way too soon. Why is this happening? But at the same time, you're like, oh my gosh, this guy is such a manly man. He's so in charge of me, I'm going to let him kiss me. Tell the truth.
Not that I was like, I guess I was more like be open and to see how you feel or whatever, and then, because and this is the truth, and I know not all girls are this way, obviously the girls that you're with aren't, but
obviously, they're all skanks. I like how you always try to throw in your little backhanded compliment, like you think you're a cool person.
I am a cool person.
You're a little tough guy. Little Napoleon syndrome. Little short man Napoleon syndrome.
Can I finish?
I like when you finish.
I can let you speak.
I like making you finish. Yeah, finish. Yeah, finish.
Can I?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's finish.
Okay, stop for a minute. Smart guy.
You want me to slow it down a little bit? You want me to slow it down? I'll slow it down for you.
Okay, slow it down.
Okay, like that. You like it nice and slow like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I like it slow with
you
too.
ready?
Yeah, I want to give it to you slow. Go ahead.
Okay. Are you ready?
Oh, I'm ready right now.
Okay.
Are you going to give it to me?
So here's the thing.
Are you going to give it to me right now?
Maybe later.
Okay.
Maybe later. Okay. In the past, I don't ever just get together with people because
Yeah, you don't just put out like that. You only put out with special people. You're not. That's not your MO. You're a very prude, chaste virgin. I understand that. And you don't just put your mouth on cocks of strange guys you just met, but for some unknown reason, with me and my homeless bum attire, you all of a sudden just started sucking away, and I was like, why is this girl doing that? She's such a pure girl. I thought she was, the word on the street was she was so pure.
Why were you so pushy?
Well, if I was pushy, why don't you just go away? I hate you. You're so pushy. Tell me that. Riddle me that, Batman.
I did.
Yeah, right. You're like, go away. Meanwhile, your pussy was soggy, and you're like, oh, get over here. Get over here. Oh, wait, go away.
Okay, now you need to relax a little bit.
I think you need to relax, and you need to tell the truth. Stop lying and tell the truth right now.
About which part? Which part?
About me turning you on because I was so in charge. Tell me.
Okay, it wasn't that part. It was the part that you were really confident, and that the part was that, yeah, you just, how do I explain it?
Yeah, how do you explain it? So confident. What does that even mean? Because everybody goes, yeah, I know, I like guys that are just confident. What does that even mean? That doesn't even mean anything. Tell me what that means.
Because guys, to tell you the truth, they aren't. And because I can prove it just by what I've experienced just over the past 9 months, guys aren't confident.
How can you tell a guy isn't confident?
They are not confident.
How can you tell?
It's the way they talk to you. It's the way they interact with you. It's the way they talk to you. It's everything. It's their mannerisms. It's like,
Like, give me an example. Give me an example.
Go away from me.
Give me an example of a guy's mannerism where you can tell he's not confident.
Well, it's hard to give an example if I can't, like, give you dialogue that I can't remember.
Is it the way he looks? Is it the way he looks at you, or the way he like does something with his hands or his body? Like, give me an example.
Definitely, their body, like proximity of you, is definitely evident. And then it's
what do you mean proximity? What do you mean proximity? Like what? They're too close or too far or what?
Too far away.
Too far away when they're talking to you?
Yeah.
So how close should they be?
If they really, well, I'm sorry. I mean, but the other thing is, like, you either feel a little something or you don't. Now, it's different with guys because guys are just turned on by how you look right away, so they don't have that, but women do. And personality plays a part in it as well. So it's like, it's the way they express themselves, the way they talk, it's the way they verbalize.
Okay, what's different? What's different? What's different about the way I talk to you versus like the nerdy guys you're used to dating? What's the difference? Like how? Let's go step. Hold on. Shut your mouth. Let's go with like just shut up. I can't hear you. Blah blah blah. I can't hear you, sexy kids. I can't hear you. Are you done yapping? Because I have to say something super important.
Well, you ask me a question, but then you don't let me respond.
Shut up. Listen before you get a spanking. Okay, now I forgot what I was going to say because I was imagining spanking you. Hold on.
Shh. Or wherever you have the phone so I can actually hear you. Because all I hear is like wah, 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 like Charlie Brown.
Shh. Okay, now what I was going to say before you so rudely interrupted was...
No, that's what you do.
No, you shut your sexy little mouth and shut it. Okay, what I was going to say before you rudely interrupted me was that first I was going to ask you step by step so we could cover it. Okay, so the difference between...
Wait, John, I really can't hear you. I cannot hear what you're saying.
Okay.
You sound like you're in a tunnel.
All right, I like being in a tunnel. Maybe I like being in your tunnel. Have you ever thought about that? I'm trying to duplicate what it's like being in your tunnel.
I haven't thought about that.
Okay, so...
But I can't hear you very well.
Okay, look. If you shut up, you could hear me. Okay, listen. Now, if a guy was looking at you, a nerdy guy was looking at you, and then I'm looking at you, what is the difference in that? Just that.
Okay, you make really good eye contact.
Like how? What do you mean? What do you mean? What's the difference?
Okay, you have good posture, you like stand up tall, you're confident, you're comfortable.
We're just talking about eye contact right now. Just eye contact right now. Just talk to me about eye contact.
You look me in the eyes. Look me in the eyes.
And the other guys don't look you in the eyes when they're talking to you?
Not always, no.
What do they do?
They look away sometimes, they don't always look at you. It's like...
So they keep looking around. They're like kind of nervous, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Like super shifty eyes, like they'll look at you and then they'll dart away when they catch you look at them or something like that?
A little bit, and there's like... A lot of it has to do with like just their posture.
Like, what's the posture? Yeah, what's that mean? Like what's their posture?
It's just not a confident posture. It's like they're kind of, I don't know if I would say hunched over, or they don't look like they're comfortable with themselves.
So they're like, they look uncomfortable and they're hunched over. Versus me, I'm like standing up straight and not looking like, I got something in my...
Is this like a am I supposed to, am I giving you like kudos right now? Is that a, is
Yeah,
that like
I'm trying.
how fabulous
I
he
need to
is?
find out what it's like being a nerd, and I need to find out what it's like being a sexy guy. You are the definitive definer right now.
Are you going to tell me how I'm a nerd? Are you going to tell me how I'm a nerd and what I need to do?
No, we already know you're a nerd. I'm talking about other guys now. We're talking about guy nerds, not you nerd. We're talking about guy nerds. What makes a guy a nerd versus what makes me a sexy guy. Okay, so we already covered posture. Okay.
Sexy God.
Guy, not God. Don't even go that far. You're so blasphemous. Okay, so we covered the eye contact.
Blasphemous rumors. I love that song. What?
Okay, are you done? All right. So we covered the part about the eye contact and then the posture. Okay, now like mannerisms. Do I do anything that's different than them, like their mannerisms? Like do I talk with my hands like a Guido, or do I do something different that they wouldn't do?
Well, there's two different personalities for you that I've noticed.
What's that?
Just watching you. And,
what's the two different?
The little mouse I've been with you.
What's that? Tell me the two.
Well, you're really aggressive, and then you can be a little introverted sometimes.
Okay, impressive and
You don't
introverted.
like to open up. That's for damn sure. You act like it's a whole mysterious thing, but there's definitely a reason why you don't want to tell me things. I'm trying to figure that out.
Yes.
Or you just don't want to talk. I don't know.
Evil.
But, like,
Sheer evil.
That's very interesting too to me. But like, yeah, you're either
Super duper open and like, hey, how's it going? And telling you everything I think about, and then other times.
yes. Why is that? Why can you be so open sexually, but not the other way?
Well, there's some things I like talking about, and other things.
There's definitely a little playful side to you, which is cute. But then the whole like, I need to know more like that.
No, you don't. See, yeah, but shut up. The part that is not a turn on you is that you try to like nag me about stuff. When you nag me about stuff, I'm like, no, that's not happening. So when you nag me, I give you the opposite answer whenever you nag me. I give you the opposite answer you don't want. Like when you nag me, I give you the wrong answer. Even if I have the right answer, I'm still gonna give you the wrong answer.
But you want to know what? Some of it is just a little bit, I feel like, and I'm being honest with you, I'm not playing with you. Some of it's just to like annoy me or just not to tell me because I don't even know. You think I'm nagging you.
Like I said, you're too used to being in charge. This is the first guy who's ever come across you and said, look, I'm in charge.
Well, are you
How hot was it? How hot was it when you said, you know what's I like when we compromise? And I was like, that's total bullshit. And you're like, no, I know exactly what it's like. It's so romantic, so special. And what was the hottest sex you've ever had? Was it our compromising sex? Was it compromising sex? Yes or no?
No, but that was
Okay. No, Your Honor, direct the witness to shut up and just answer the questions. Thank you. Ma'am, just answer the questions and shut your mouth. Just answer the questions. Okay. So, we've established that it was not compromising sex. It was sexy. Was it sexy vampire sex that turned you on the most? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Oh. So now we get to the bottom. So you're saying, ma'am, that you contended that the sexiest sex you ever had was compromising sex, where everybody had a 50% say in everything. That was the most sexiest time you ever thought. But then, once you had vampire sex, you felt it was the sexiest sex you would ever have. Is that true? Yes or no? Is that true? Yes or no? Answer the question.
I would say...
Is that true? Answer the question. Yes or no will suffice. Yes, okay. We got the answer, Your Honor. Yes.
There are two things I didn't like.
Okay.
That bothered me.
Yeah, I didn't ask you that, your opinion on that, Your Honor. I just asked her for a yes or no answer, and I believe we got to it. I believe it was so amazing that I almost had an aneurysm. It was so amazing. Like, the way... Okay, here's something that's indicative of that. When I first kissed you, you were kissing like a dude in like fifth grade. You had like a stiff lower lip. It was like you were jousting. It was like you were training. It's like you were training to become an MMA fighter. It was like such a brutally offensive.
Why did you keep kissing me?
It was such an offensive kiss because I was trying to get past your guard. I was trying to do ground and pound. You know where you like get past the guard and you get in there and ground and mix it up. So your lower lip was stiffer than like Shaq's cock. It was so massively stiff, and you kept trying to like force your lower lip to like fight against my lip, and I just wanted a soft, tender kiss, like from a girl, not like a Shaq's cock in my mouth. So after we had, okay, are you done laughing? Because I got another point to make.
No.
Then after we had vampire sex, I told you, look, sir, your lower lip is too stiff. Let it go, relax, and let me kiss you. And at that point, your lower lip relaxed, and you blossomed from a moth into a beautiful womanly butterfly. And when I kissed you at that time, your lip was so tender and so soft. I got immediately turned on. I got a boner because your lip was so submissive and soft when I kissed it. And I was like, wow, this isn't a tranny after all. This is an actual woman that I'm kissing. And I was so shocked and amazed. So I have to say, I totally agree with you that the vampire sex was the hottest ever, because when you were like, oh, kiss me like that, like it's so tender, and your lips turn like tender, like they turn into jello and just like tender and submissive lips, I think that was probably the hottest kiss we've ever had. I must say. The hottest by far. I was like, you know what, it was actually a good contrast.
I need to defend myself a little bit here.
Let me tell you something. I almost forgot to mention. It was so, you know, I was extra good because your kiss was so terrible in the beginning. It was like such a dude kiss, and it was so stiff and like competitive that once we finally got to the tender, soft, womanly kiss you finally gave me, it was like such a relief that it was like extra. It was not only good in itself inherently, but compared to the terrible first kiss, it was like so much better. I was like in shock, basically. I was like a victim who woke up out of a coma, and instead we're in the future, like 25 years in the future. And they invented you know, like thumb phones that go on your thumb. And I was just shocked at the technology I discovered of your kiss. It was like a technological advancement. Your kiss was a technology advancement. Yes.
Can you stop for a minute?
Yes. Are you peeing yourself? What's the problem over there? Are you going to be okay?
I need to defend myself for a minute here.
Okay.
First of all, what guy just runs up to the door and just starts trying to kiss a girl that he doesn't even know, that he just met?
A guy who's very special?
So I'm like, whoa.
A guy who's very special? A guy like me who's very special?
Okay. I thought you were saying sexual. You're saying special.
I said special, not sexual. I said special.
Okay. Very special. I thought you were saying sexual. Okay.
No.
Yeah,
I said
okay,
special.
listen.
Yes.
You did. Okay. Listen. So I was really, whoa. First of all, like, what is he doing? So of course I'm not going to kiss you.
Well, no. I didn't grab you.
Whoa.
We didn't grab and have vampire sex kiss. We had I kind of leaned in and I was like, I'm going to kiss your lips. And you're like, no. And then I kissed your lips. So it was kind of like a tentative. It was kind of like the shocking part was that I actually went for it. Not that I just grabbed you and did it. The shocking part was that I went.
I was like, and then I even told you, I said, wait a minute, and I was trying to let you know.
But I did kiss you anyway. You didn't go, no, we can't. But I kissed you anyway. But the shocking part was that I actually tried to kiss you that quickly. That was the shocking part for you.
Well, that's why I was not receptive at all at first, because I was like, I was just not, I'm not used to that, and I wasn't.
Oh, but contraire, mon frere, you were receptive to it because you kissed me back, even though it was for a little short second, but it was you did kiss me back. So you're proven wrong again.
I did, but then I was I was kind of no.
Yeah, on one hand you were turned on, you're like, oh my gosh, this might turn into vampire sex, so you kissed me back, but then you remembered, then your prudish side came out and you're like, wait, it's too soon, you're a stranger, I don't know you. Yeah, so you had a conflict.
I had two conversations going on in my head.
You had a conflict and you...
One was, hey, whoa, and the other one was no,
you were like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Actually, no, you were like the Incredible Hulk. Inside you had a raging vagina that needed to get out. But then on the other side, you had this little pussy guy in you that was like, sir, we can't do that right now. No, we can't do that yet. We haven't established the ground rules yet. But then the other side was you like, Hulk must smash, Hulk must kiss, Hulk must get vagina satisfied, Hulk smash. So you had these two conflicting sides in you. One side of you was so adamant about getting jumped and having instant vampire sex, but the other side of you, the other side of you was the stronger side was the more social conditioned side, because you're conditioned to go, no, I mustn't do that yet. So that side went out because that side has been years of training of being a prude. But that initial urge in there was in there because you're like, this is a manly man. I'm actually turned on, which is kind of shocked you because you were turned on, but you didn't realize you were getting turned on. I think that was also the shocking part. Would you agree or disagree that you got turned on? Would you agree or disagree?
That I got turned on?
Yes, but you weren't expecting it. Yes. Absolutely. See, you said absolutely. You even qualified it as absolutely yes, you were turned on. But you weren't even expecting it. You were
shocked, actually, to be quite honest.
Yes.
Absolutely shocked.
You were shocked not only by my behavior that I would have the audacity to even go for the kiss, but you were also shocked at your own response that you responded with turned on. I think that was also shocking to you.
Yes, I was actually shocked by that because I don't get that way. I was like,
no, it's not that you don't get that way. It's that nobody's put you in the position to even experience that.
So maybe if I let myself get in that position more with other guys, then I can have fresh friends.
You could have some super duper times, but no, the right guy has to do it. Like a guy, if he was like, eyes darting. Imagine if a guy who was like one of those nerd guys with all eyes darting everywhere and bad posture tried to kiss you. You would freak out and flip out. You'd have a totally different response.
I would, you're right. I'd be like, get away from me, asshole.
You'd be like, this is creepy, this guy's weird, he's a serial killer.
Yeah.
But because I did it the right way, you had a shocking response, a shock you. You're like turned on. You're like, oh my god, this is a man. I'm so wet right now.
Are you enjoying this?
No, I'm enjoying that. Yeah, actually, you know what? I was trying to find a way around saying I'm not enjoying it, but actually I am. I'm enjoying admitting that you were turned on by me because you're so adamant about saying, oh, I hate you. You never get anywhere. I hate you. You're a loser. Blah blah blah. But I'm so enjoying. Finally, you get your just desserts.
I've never said that.
Finally, you get put in your place, and your own experience betrays you, and you're like, "Oh no, I've been turned to the dark side."
Wait a minute. Why did you say that? Why would you say that I think you're a loser?
No, not that you're a loser. I was exaggerating a lot. I meant that you were so turned off, and you hated the kiss, and you don't like that, etc. You always made that impression that it was such a terrible experience for you, and then the truth comes out that it was a turn on. I think that has given me extreme pleasure. I'm like reveling in that you actually enjoyed it.
Go ahead, revel in it.
I am. It's so amazing to me to actually hear it from your lips because before when I first met you, I was like, oh, you were very reserved and very defensive and very sarcastic. But now because I made you feel more secure, you're very much more open to be honest. Oh, yes, it has. You are very insecure. If I didn't make you feel secure, you never would have admitted any of this. You would think, oh, this guy is judging me, this guy hates me, or this guy's going to think poorly of me, or you think I'm, a skank or not social. But because I've made you feel secure about expressing yourself, you're more open to do it now. Yes or no? Answer the question.
You think girls are stinky, correct?
Answer the question, yes or no. My making you feel secure has opened you up to express yourself and say stuff you normally would not say. Yes or no? Answer the question.
I'm not gonna.
Answer the question, yes or no.
I'm not gonna commit on that one.
Answer the question, yes or no. Did my tender affection, along with my I'm in charge attitude and making you feel safe and secure, making you feel safe and secure, did that allow you to open yourself up and express yourself and say stuff you normally wouldn't say? Yes or no? Answer the question.
Maybe.
You are going to get a finger in your naughty part if you don't tell the truth right now. Tell the truth. Yes or no?
You know what?
Yes or no? Yes or no?
I'll answer the question.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
Mm-mm.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
You don't have to answer any of my questions.
Do you want to get a spanking? Yes or no?
Fair.
Yes or no?
I don't think it's fair.
Do you want to compromise or do you want to have vampire questions? Do you want to have compromise questions or do you want to have vampire questions? That's what I thought. So answer the question. No. Answer the question. Did my tender loving care, did my tender loving, did...
Yes and a 25% no. I'm going to give you 75-25 on that one.
That's not truthful. Be honest now. Did my tender loving...
I'm going to say 75-25.
My tender loving, affectionate care and my stern rules and boundaries I set for you, did that make you feel secure enough to finally... Yes, my boundaries I set on you, did that finally make you secure enough to open your heart up and express how you're feeling? Yes or no?
God.
Tell me the answer, and we can move on.
Yeah, okay, I'm going to say yes, but there's some things that I'm
Okay, yes, we finally got to the bottom of it. Yes, after all the teeth pulling, we finally got to the bottom of it. Let the record show, Your Honor, that she said yes.
Why don't you want to tell me anything about you?
Well, because a lot of times you nag, so I like to not tell you stuff when you nag. Other times, it's like I like to not be on your schedule because you're on a prude schedule and you talk about things that are like non-essential to getting to know someone. So I like to get to know you the way I want to get to know you. Like the way we talk right now, see, it's more like meaningful to me. It's more enjoyable. I like have a better time talking to you when we do it my way. So that's why I like talking to you this way. What's that?
That's all you want to talk about.
We haven't talked about sex. That is a lie. You are a liar, sir.
All you want to talk about.
No. You are a liar.
And then
You
say you're a nag.
You are a naggy lying liar. Admit you are lying and that we have not talked about sex for a long time during this conversation. Admittedly, there were sexual themes, but that was not the gist. That was not the gist. That was not the gist of the conversation. Even the last question was about expressing yourself, not about inserting stuff in you. Exactly my point.
you're more technical now about instead of just saying me sticking my cock in you.
Yeah, but
you're saying,
we weren't talking about sticking my cock in you.
You at least said that it was more tastefully said, so I appreciate that.
I appreciate that you stopped lying and characterizing this as a sex conversation when it hasn't been a sex conversation.
I'm not lying.
You are. You're making it sound like a hooker conversation, like I'm ordering a hooker. You make it sound. Shut it. You make it sound like you're a hooker and I'm ordering a hooker when that is obviously not the case.
I'm just a hooker.
Yeah, you're trying to make it sound like this is a hooker conversation, like we're negotiating how much for a blowjob. That's a lie. We are not negotiating that. We've already negotiated those terms. We're beyond those terms right now. Yeah, that's my point.
Figured that one out.
So we've already established that I have sexual interest in you because you're sexy. That's beyond the scope of this conversation now. We have now delved into new realms about like talking to people and what differentiates between a nerdy guy and a cool guy, things of that nature.
Right.
Not necessarily
enjoyable.
Giving you anal. So there's different things we're talking about. You like to characterize this as a sexual conversation because you're a pervert and you're thinking about more vampire sex.
That's exactly right.
That's my point.
You know me.
That, see, your little tough guy sarcasm, you see what I did with that? I was like, yes, you have super cool sarcasm, and I just patted you on the head and agree with you. See, I just took it at face value.
You did. Thank you for doing that.
That disarms your sarcasm, and that teaches you, yes, nobody likes sarcasm, throw it away. We like your tender girl side. It's more enjoyable to us. Yes, we love it more. Yeah, your tender girl side is so lovely.
Oh my gosh.
It defeats all your...
I know these are questions you don't want to answer, but could you just humor me?
It defeats all your tough guy sarcasm. I'll humor you. I'll humor you. I'll humor you.
Can you not interrupt me?
I'll interhuman you when you realize this is a vampire conversation and not a compromise conversation. I'm in charge here, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I'm in charge here.
I don't like the in charge thing.
I'm in charge. I know you don't like it, but that's what you don't realize is that when we do it my way, everybody has more of an enjoyable time. When we do it your way, everybody suffers and says, "Can we go home yet? Can we go home yet? Is the ride over? Can I get a refund on this movie? Can I get off this ride, please? Can somebody stop the ride? It's making me nauseous. Can somebody land the airplane? I'm about to vomit." That's what happens when we do it your way. Okay, I'm glad you got the point because I had about 3 more analogies to illustrate the point, but I'm glad that you got it, and I could save those analogies for later now. Now I don't have to use them.
Oh, man.
You little snuggle bunny, you little snuggaboo.
Okay.
Hey, can I tell you something? Can you shut up? I have to tell you something.
Do it.
Shut up, I have to tell you
What?
something. I like talking to you.
You like talking to me? I
Yeah.
thought you didn't like talking
No,
to me.
I like talking to you. It's fun.
Oh, thanks.
I look forward...
Really? Are you being serious or are you being a friend?
Shut up. I look forward to talking to you.
Oh, thanks.
Like, I like hearing your voice. When I hear your voice, it's comforting to me. It makes me happy. Like, when I see your number calling, I'm like, I almost get like a boner, like a phone boner. Because I'm like, oh, it's her calling. And it makes me want to, like, put stuff in you, you know, when you call. It makes me happy.
There it is. I was waiting for that.
Yeah, you're so cool. You knew it, bro. You looked in the crystal ball and you saw sex was coming. You're a genius. That's what you're trying to imply, isn't it, sir?
No, I think it's cute that you do that. At first it was like very... I've got to be honest because you know I'm a prude.
Okay, so first you were turned off. You were honest.
I was very shocked. I was like, I don't know if I should talk to this guy.
Okay, so you... Hold on. Let me clear this...
He's really honest sexually. I don't
Wait.
know if
So let me clear this up. So first you admit you're being a prude and you weren't turned on by it. Is that right?
No, yeah. I was like that scared by it.
Okay, but now...
It made me nervous. It made me uncomfortable.
Right.
I was like, oh,
Right.
wait a minute.
But now...
Is this normal?
But now...
Now I just know it's you and it doesn't bother me as much.
No, you look forward. You just said you like it.
I do, but sometimes I don't.
But a lot of times you do.
A lot of times I do, but sometimes I don't.
Yeah, but that's your prudy side. Your prudy side never likes anything sexual. That's the problem.
I'm working on it, okay?
But here's the thing. The mistake I made is I'm impatient. Instead of like taking time and understanding your feelings and like saying, you know what, I should cut back on sexual talk. It's more like you're like a wet paint sign and I just keep touching it because you put the wet paint sign there to stop me. So that's why I keep increasing it instead of decreasing it. When really I should have been more understanding and said like, wait, I shouldn't introduce sex talk or sex so quickly. I really should have waited. But because I have very little patience.
I totally love and appreciate that you just said that. Thank you. That
Yes.
makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah. Okay. But anyway.
You are impatient, by the way. You are very impatient.
Well, yeah, because I'm like a genius guy and I have a lot of thoughts that have to be covered. And it's like if I have to wait for people on the slow bus all the time, it's like it makes me impatient. It's like, why can't people catch up to speed already?
I'm on the slow bus?
Yeah, you're on the super slow bus. You're like you missed the slow bus and now you're on the roller skates. Now you're on roller skates.
What? Why are you talking to me if I'm on the slow bus? I'm obviously not up to par for you.
Exactly. I got to bring you up to speed. That's my point.
So maybe you're with someone who's already on the fast bus.
Well, if you know somebody on the
space shuttle.
If you know somebody that's on the space shuttle and also has your sexiness that I like, then I want you to give me their number so I can call them immediately.
Okay, I will do that for you.
I'm glad you're going to do that for me. I'm so looking forward to that.
I'm going to keep my eyes open for you.
And make sure she's less naggy too. Make sure she's less naggy, less naggy and less prudy, and then but it has to be as sexy as you though.
It has to be what?
As sexy as you.
Oh, thank you. Okay, that's going to be hard to find.
That's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. So you got to keep that criteria in mind.
Will you answer some of my lame, stupid, pretty, boring questions now?
It depends if I feel like answering them. Sometimes no, we don't humor the slow bus girl. We do things my vampire way, not your nerdy way. We do things vampire. I know, and that's why we had such a good time talking because we did it the vampire way. We didn't do it the nerd way. Yes.
It always just pleases you, but not me.
No, it pleases you. Just like we just proved. Like all the time you were saying, oh, I hate it. I'm having a terrible time. I don't like it. Blah, blah, blah. I don't like this. I don't like that. So you're the one always nagging. Meanwhile, I bring the enjoyment to this relationship, and it's so much funner since I got here.
You do, but
since I got here, you bring a lot of baggage. You bring a lot of baggage, but you bring a lot of sexiness, and you bring a lot of warm, tender feelings underneath your tough guy exterior.
I don't bring baggage.
You bring baggage and you bring warm feelings.
Baggage, you mean like
I mean, when I'm talking, I mean like you're like the way you view guys and stuff. Like you're already like sarcastic and bitter. So part of that side of you is like the baggage side of you. So when you stop being like the tough guy and drop all the sarcasm, then we'll know you're past your baggage. So on one hand,
don't you think a lot of guys are douchebags? Come on,
you know why guys are douchebags? I agree. There are a lot of guys who are douchebags, but you know why they're douchebags?
Because you're gonna blame it on the girl.
Oh, you think you're so tough. See, you try to head people off at the pass like you're the sheriff.
No, you just asked me a question and I'm answering it.
Right, and
I'm not supposed to answer. Am I just supposed to tell me, genius?
Well, you're not supposed to give me the cool.
Charlie. Will you inform me? That's what you wanted.
You need a beating with like a crowbar, some metal object, a blunt force metal object to be beaten with. Okay, so what I was saying before you so rudely interrupted, what I was saying is that you gave the cool answer.
Okay, that right there is humorous because that's all you do is interrupt me. But go ahead, I'll be quiet now, like a good girl should. Go speak.
Are you done with your cool sarcastic comments? Because we could write more. We could write you a whole little routine, and you could go up on stage, your little microphone, and do your cool little sarcasm routine, and see how many laughs and how many tickets you can sell.
Okay, I bet there'd be a line.
There would be such a line of like 7 people to get into like a packed house that seats like 10 people, maybe, if that. And they're all lesbians on your soccer team. They're all the lesbians from your soccer team. That's the only people that are coming to see you because they're like, oh, I remember her from the shower. Yeah, I'm going to go see her. I heard she's really funny.
I'm going to pour myself a glass of wine.
You like to get drunk when you talk to me. That's so hot. You like to get all sexy and fingery drunk when you talk to me.
No, the truth. I don't sleep well. I'm going to them. I don't sleep well at night.
I want to help you sleep well. You know why you don't sleep well at night?
You definitely would help me sleep well.
You know why you don't sleep well at night? Because I'm not there to snuggle you up.
I would love for you to be here to snuggle me, but
yeah, when I'm there to snuggle you up, you sleep so good. I want to like come over there right now and snuggle in your bed, get in your bed and snuggle up with you.
I would love for you to do that, but I can't.
I want to do that for an hour. Yeah, I want to break your rules and get in your bed and snuggle under the covers for an hour.
I would love for you to do that, but I can't. I'm serious.
Okay, well.
Listen, you can do it next weekend.
Yay. Sweet. Sweet.
Yes, I have a timeline, sorry.
Sweet. Baby.
Here's the thing.
Baby.
Yes. I can't remember what I was telling you. What was I telling you? Oh, I don't sleep well at night.
Yes, you don't sleep well at night.
But I don't now. You know why I don't, because I do have baggage, as you said. So
so you don't sleep well at night.
Anyways, I don't want to bore you with all that crap, but So I was taking like half an Ambien or whatever they are to go to sleep, like a little sleeping pill. But I don't want to get hooked on that crap.
Yeah,
so.
you don't need an Ambien. You need half a penis is what you need. If I put a
exactly.
if I put a little penis in your mouth, just a little bit of penis in your mouth, you would sleep so sound like a baby suckling a bottle. You'd be suckling on my penis. I would have like a hard on.
And then, wouldn't have my oral fixation anymore.
Yeah.
I'd be just fine, right?
No, that is for your oral fixation. You'd be like fixated on that, suckling on that.
No, I'd be set.
And then you'd have a nice night's sleep. You'd be like,
I know I'd sleep well. So if I don't want to always take, it sounds bad saying a pill to help me sleep. If I drink a glass of wine and 2 glasses, I sleep so good. So that's what I do.
yeah, then you got to go to your AA meeting and get your sobriety coin.
I am not a drunk. Oh my god.
Yeah, not yet.
Right.
You little drunkster.
Look who's talking. It's just
I want you to call me after your. I want you to call me after your second glass, and you're super horny, so I could come over and tuck you in. And when I mean in, I mean inside. Yeah.
Not until
Yeah.
doing anything. It's like, there's a crack
Inside.
in my glass. Damn it.
It's a crack in your glass. Oh no.
There's a crack in my glass. No.
Whoops. Okay. I didn't accidentally hang up on her, but I think you guys got the point. I was just trying to illustrate talking and managing a girl on a phone. Beep. Okay, fight fans. We bring you back to the podcast, and you don't even know how many times this podcast has been spliced because there's been interruptions. We're on day 2. Boggles is in the chat room. Expression and everything, even in the spelling. Yes, all right. Shut up for a second. Okay, so I'm going to finish the podcast with Boggles, but it looks like the Dice Man is in. Let's check in with the Dice Man. Let's check on the Dice Man. Let's see what the Dice Man's up to. I'm heating up some soup right now. Soup is just finished. Let's check and see. Let's check and see what the Dice Man's up to. Is the Dice Man in? We shall see. Feels like the soup is sufficiently hot. Oh, that's a hot soup. Looks like the Dice Man is nowhere to be found. We're going to hang up on him. Boop. We're going to check in on our co-host, Boggles. Boggles. Oh, Boggles. Oh, Boggles. Where the hell is Boggles? Damn it. Where the hell is Boggles? Pick up the damn phone. You nigga. Fuck. Why does it take you like 5 hours to answer the fucking phone?
I answered. It took forever to connect. It's a Gmail issue.
Gmail. I should know that. I should know that because I know you would connect on half a ring if you saw it. You were ready to click on the answer button.
I'm pretty quick.
Yeah, that must be a Gmail issue. That couldn't be you.
You know it all. You know too much.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, at first I was thinking Boggles is just being lazy or something, or he's out, eating chips. He's away from his computer. And then I said, wait, Boggles away from his computer. Uh-oh, looks like we have another Gmail issue. Boggles is not available for chat. What the fuck? Boggles has a Gmail issue. What the fuck? Oh, this podcast might be interrupted. Uh-oh. Let me try. Yeah, how about you try? I think it's a Boggle issue.
I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, you're back.
What are you eating?
Soup.
Oh,
So I was saying, Boggles being away from the computer. That's obviously impossible. That's like Microsoft shutting down the PC. Impossible.
that's right.
That's like saying PC not crashing today.
That's another way of saying it.
That's another way of saying it. So, where did we leave off? Oh, yeah, okay.
Touch.
No. So I was supposed to call you back. I got interrupted.
Yeah, text message.
Some chick called, and we were talking about. It was actually a chick that I got on the call. I got on the phone, and then I figured, well, since she's on the phone, I might as well record some of this for the podcast.
Yes.
And so we got a nice long podcast of this chick talking about like I try to steer the conversation so it covered some issues of attraction, what what creates it, and also try to give some examples of, managing her behaviors, things like that. So I try to spice it up a little bit. And then I think she said something about, I was going to hang up, right? And then call you back. It was actually kind of, we were talking for maybe an hour.
Yeah, I was getting late.
Yeah. So, I was just kind of playing around, and I said, okay, I'm going to go, but I want you to finger yourself before you go. And she's all, no. I said, you better, right now, I want you to say something sexy. I want you to slide your fingers in your panties and say something like you're fingering yourself. She's all, no, I'm not going to do it. I said, if you don't do it, I'm choking on my soup.
And you met this girl only once?
No, hold on. I'm about to choke on my soup. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So,
chew it first.
Yeah, chew the soup.
Yeah,
So I said, if you don't put your fingers down your panties, I'm coming over there right now. And she's all, no, I'm not going to do it. I said, fine, I'm coming over there. And then, long story short, I ended up getting like a BJ in the side of the house.
Wow.
It was kind of exciting because it was all dark. It was like about 12. And there was like cars drive by, and then they BJ on the side of the house. It was just kind of interesting. But that's fun. That's hilarious. That's a fantasy for you. What are you talking about? That's funny.
Yeah, I know.
I wish I could have that.
I'm just imagining that.
I'm imagining it for you. For you, it must be like talking about like a foursome with chicks sitting on your face. But for me, it wasn't as exciting as that because I didn't finish. She was just all too paranoid about cars going by. But it was just kind of I thought it was kind of interesting that I didn't. Well, yeah, exactly. I wanted to, but I wanted her to do something, but it just ending up in a blowjob. Like I totally had no plan for that. I was, wanted to finish the podcast, but just because I was like, I'm not getting my expectation met. So
I'm gonna go there in person.
Yeah, but it was just interesting to think about. Okay.
Yes, interesting for me to think about.
Yeah, interesting for you to think about. So
it's in my mind.
back to what we were covering before was touch.
Yes.
So we covered just the aspect of non-sexual touch, like between a guy and a guy. Like if you're two Indian guys, you could have non-sexual touch. So we're also talking about if you're a regular guy from America, to practice touching guys in a non-sexual way, but as a indication that you're a social person, that you're a normal social person. And we're talking about kind of discussing the idea of what would be an ideal amount of time to touch a guy that you're friends with in a normal social way. So we know that here's the thing. I don't know if the Indian version or the Korean version where you put your arm around your best friend for a long time for like extended period of time is the norm, or if that's the extreme. But I know for sure that the American version of just like slapping a high five and nothing longer than that, than like a 2-second hug or something like that, a bro hug.
Yeah.
I'm sure that for sure is abnormal. So that is not the standard we're going to go by. So I would say it's more towards the Korean or, like you said, the Indian, the only two that I know of that have this extended contact between males that are like friends. What would be I'm still curious as to find out what would be an ideal standard. So I was considering that.
How would you find out?
I don't know. We'd have to just start touching each other for long periods of time and see eventually when it turned gay. Like
social experiment.
Yeah, when guys ended up gay, or when it was just like they're still buddies. Like when it crossed the line, they started proposing to each other, or when it just sort of they're just buddies and high fiving later.
I think if you're not gay, you're gonna keep holding, and you're not gonna see
yeah, I wonder about that. I mean, like in the Bible, it talks about like guys laying on Jesus' breast when he's like they're hanging out, and he's just like laying on him, like they're buddies, or things like that. So that even in history, there's, I'm sure in Shakespeare or maybe in some other historical novels, there's instances of male contact, extended male contact that I probably haven't read about because I don't read like a ton of old historical books, but I'm sure that's some kind of thing. Okay, so covered that. What else do I have in my notes here? Conversation, touch. We covered touching. Go through the conversation assignment. Oh, I almost forgot. Let's go through that. Okay, so let's go to the forum. Where did I put that? Is that in conveying your person?
Probably. Yeah. Oh, what is your ideal conversation?
There we go. Okay, why don't you read it?
Students, write about your ideal conversation. How do you want it to play out? And be very detailed and very specific.
Very detailed and very specific.
You have it in bold letters.
Indian accents are the best for butchering words. That's the best.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Give an example from start to finish.
So be very detailed and very specific. Give an example from start to finish.
Yes.
Let me tell you something real quick.
Yeah.
Let me interject something. As far as interesting podcasts, I would say that this podcast is compelling because it has not only some direction, like I know what I want to cover, or when I'm speaking about something, I'm speaking about something I'm somewhat knowledgeable about, or I have an opinion about. And even if I'm not, I'm still expressing my experience of that opinion. So I'm bringing people into the experience of that in a more than just a clinical way. It's more like an emotional attachment almost. Today I was listening to another podcast because I was reading the bullet points for this podcast. This particular podcast has bullet points. And, we barely list bullet points. Like if there's a major point that we want to cover, we'll list it.
Yeah.
But we don't. I don't know if I necessarily. It's like so much of a chore to go back and this happens here and we talk about this and X, Y, and Z. I don't want to do that. That's like extra work.
Yeah.
But this one, I'm sure it's a little more. I don't know about commercial, but it's got a bigger audience. So they want to list bullet points, right? They more or less go with the opinion of like the way most people do it. When they're marketing, they're like, "Who's my customer base? What do my customers want?"
Yeah.
That's like the current trend of marketing. It's like, if my customers want to see kittens decapitated, we need to get more cats and cut off more heads.
Yeah.
That's their approach to marketing.
I don't know how else you approach it.
Well, my approach is the integrity of the product-based way. For instance,
that's Apple style.
Yeah, exactly. It's Apple style. It's not dependent upon.
Yeah, Steve Jobs thinks the consumer doesn't know what's best.
Yeah, exactly. That is exactly true. It's not dependent upon the consumer. We're assuming the consumer is stupid.
Yes.
I think that's
Steve Jobs, as you
I think that's such a core assumption, and it's such a core truth you have to understand in order to realize why it's important to make a product with it, not just integrity, but that's like functional and works and is valuable. For instance, like a rake. Let's say most people say they want like a leaf blower, okay? But for whatever reason, gas prices spike up to $10 a gallon, or we just run out of gas completely and no gas to run anything. Yeah. So now a leaf blower becomes a 80-pound paperweight because there's no gas to run it. Yeah. Whereas a rake, you not only can use it at any time without needing to fill it with gas, you also can get exercise from it. Yes. It's more environmentally friendly. So there's all these other side bonuses to owning a rake versus a leaf blower. In my opinion, a rake would be more functional in that. If you're talking about which is more valuable overall, which has the more overall value, I would say for sure a rake versus a leaf blower. A leaf blower, you might save time, but from all the time you save, there's also a lot of prices you pay, like your health, the environment, using up gas. I mean, there's all kinds of things. So I would say in that respect, the functional product is the rake. But, because people, when they're undisciplined, they become lazy, and they would see leaf blower. I could rake my lawn or get rid of the leaves in 10 minutes, or maybe even less, like 2 minutes, versus a raking would take half an hour, if they're being thorough. Or they would be seduced by the promise of being able to get that lawn done in 2 minutes and save that extra 28 minutes for playing with your kids or going outside, etc. So there's always like this kind of marketing, not just outwardly, but marketing in their head from the laziness. Like, oh, look at all I could do if I could just get the leaf blower.
Yeah,
so,
I think I do that too.
Yeah, so I would say the rule of thumb, which is true, is that consumers are very stupid. The average person is very stupid, very incompetent.
Okay.
So that's the way I view people, and that's the way I run the show, run the podcast, whatever you want to call it. That's the way I run the forums. I don't. In one sense, I want to make it accessible. Like I want to make the information palatable enough that even a retarded guy who's not competent can have access to it and can understand it and digest it. But I don't want to dumb it down so much that we cater to the lowest common denominator. Like the guy's totally retarded. I can't make this into a coloring book. He has to he has to learn how to become competent enough to read and understand the material. So he has to uplift his education himself to get to a certain point so that he can grasp the concepts being talked about, versus me trying to dumb it down and watering down the concept. And then by watering it down, I'm doing a disservice to other students because they actually need a deeper content. They need something deeper that'll enrich their lives, that'll make their lives better. Whereas if I just make it a coloring book, it's going to be so simplistic, it's not even going to be helpful.
So that's where the user testing comes in. Huh?
Well, user testing. Well, yes. But I think the person making the product or making the service has to be competent enough that their service or product comes to that is delivered to that consumer and is functional, is useful. Okay. Yeah. So I'm reading the bullet points of this podcast, and it looks extremely exciting. It's like talking about all these amazing issues and things, and I'm like, wow, this is going to be super interesting. And then hearing the guys talk about it, it's like I almost fell asleep. I was so disappointed. The description of the product, the hype behind it, didn't match what was delivered to me.
What are you talking about? Your own podcast?
No. Oh, man. Your Indian nonsense fully is marketed as Indian nonsense and I fully expect it, and so you deliver on your product. Like if you're marketing Indian nonsense, if I was buying it, I would say, yes, you've over-delivered.
Which podcast are you talking about?
I'm not talking about this podcast.
Okay.
I'm talking about another podcast that I heard. I'm not even sure I want to mention it. I'm not sure it's so relevant, but just the point is that not necessarily the content was interesting, like what they were going to talk about, but the way they talked about it was like, yeah, so what's your opinion on that? Oh, I guess so. Well, whatever, bro. It's very like monotone. Like they could have been talking about the end of the world in about 10 minutes, but it was so mundane and dull. I would have fallen asleep before I heard about the meteor coming. And then I was like, wow, that's a great example of having awesome content. I mean, at least on paper, if you read it, you would think, oh, this is so amazing. Yeah. But the actual experience of it was so deflating, was so depressing, was so disappointing. And I was like, wow, you know what? It's so important to have good expression. It's so important to be able to convey your experience to people of things versus just conveying the information to them. You know, it would be more informative in that regard if they just had typed out the content of their podcast. That probably would have been more interesting.
And have a computer read it out.
Yeah, that would have been the same effect. But to have them just write it out would have been better than them talking about it because I fell asleep listening to them talk about it. At least reading it, I could maybe project my own experience and go, oh, this is the exciting part. Oh, this is interesting information. You know, cut down all the jibber jabber and bullshit.
Yes.
Okay, so what was the point of that? Okay, so be very specific and detailed in your conversation. Write about your ideal conversation. This is the assignment. It's a conversation assignment we dreamed up.
And then write about how your conversations.
You know what? When we were first dreaming this up, Dr. Ladice was talking to me about it. I said, this is pretty useless because and I understand his point. It's because guys who don't have a picture, don't have the perspective of what a competent conversation should sound like. Imagine them trying to imagine, you know, competent conversation is like telling a girl who's growing up watching Disney films to write a romance novel in which you're writing about a functional or a valid romance or a satisfying romance, but they have nothing substantial or functional to relate to. So how are they even going to come up with what a competent romance would look like or what a satisfying romance would look like? Same with these guys.
Terms, a lot of expression.
Yeah, these guys are like, if they've never talked to a girl in a satisfying way and had a satisfying conversation, they don't know what they can get away with, what they can say, what expectations they can get met. What are they going to reference when they're making their conversation?
Your podcast.
Your movies. I don't know. You know, just Hollywood or what they've heard about or what they assume. And those are like the worst types of conversations. So let's see. I was like, yes, I understand that point, but I want to see what they come up with because I could understand that point. Like the conversation wouldn't be, you know, wouldn't represent real life. Mm-hmm. But on the other hand, I wanted to examine their thought process, like what they thought. Okay. And even if, like, let's say there was an outlandish theme, like they thought a hot chick was just going to approach them on the street and start talking to them. Yeah. Even if it was an unrealistic situation, at least I was more concerned with the specifics of the conversation, like what they would talk about and why they were talking about it and what would it accomplish. Those were kind of more interesting to me than the overall premise of actually developing a realistic type of conversation where you thought this could actually happen in real life. Okay, so that was the dilemma. So I figured, well, let's just post it and see what happens. Let's see what happens, okay?
User testing.
And plus, it's not, conversations aren't foreign to people. They have them all the time. It's just that they have a lot of poor conversations. So they have some reference point. It's not like they haven't talked to a girl. I mean, some guys have very limited experience, but, you know, they have sisters, they have moms, you know, they have teachers, peers, classmates. So they have some access to girls. So it's not unrealistic to assume they haven't had a conversation with a girl or, you know, with other people, family members, etc. So second point is to write about your conversations, how they currently unfold. Like I wanted to give them, I think these guys gave too much of a generalization of their conversation. Like I wanted them to actually write dialogue. And I could see where this would be problematic because if they're going to write dialogue from a girl that they like, that might be totally unrealistic if they had no experience talking to a girl or attracting her. What are they going to reference? What is the girl going to say? They have no idea. So obviously it's going to be skewed. So they were just kind of giving generalizations of like, this would be a great conversation and we would both feel good. I didn't care about that. I wanted to know exactly what they were saying word for word. That's what I was more curious about.
Is that what you meant by very detailed?
That's why I said, the next sentence said, again, detailed and specific, give examples. I should have bold-faced that and made that
give an example
200 font point because I don't think from my memory that anybody gave that many examples of what exactly would take place. And that's what the emphasis was, more on what would exactly take place. Because then I could address that, right? If you actually specifically said, well, I want to say this to a girl, hey, how's it going? And then she would respond this way, oh, I'm fine. I like talking to you. You're great. You know, then I can address like their perspective of a conversation, what they think a girl should say, what she would say, what she would actually say, you know, what they hope would happen. So I can address those things versus them saying, oh, we're having a conversation and we both feel great. How can you talk about that? Because you don't know what problems are coming up. So it's kind of useless if you're not specific. Okay, so and the third part would address the specific concepts you're applying from Manhood Academy, the things you're learning about social interaction, or the things you're forgetting, neglecting to apply to the ideal conversation and present your conversations. So the first one, concrete. 80. My ideal conversation would start out by me expressing myself comfortably. What does that even mean? I can't even address that. Yes, it's ideal for you to be comfortable, to feel okay when you're talking to somebody else, but again, it's hard to address that if there's no
talk in an open manner, I guess.
Yeah, I guess be open, say what he wants to say.
Yeah, say what you're thinking.
I want it to have direction, so usually the first thing I look at is what we can both offer each other. Now, this is kind of good. He's kind of examining, why am I talking to this person? A potential friend? Is he, she articulate enough to work with me to make this conversation enjoyable? I want to talk about things that interest me, specific topics that require both parties to contribute. It can be food, what joints we like to go to, philosophy, nature, family, cars, things I want to do in the future, countries to visit. So he's talking about just like a basic psychologically stimulating conversation.
People, yeah.
Like your buddies, you just shoot in the breeze. My present conversations are usually hit and miss. I don't buy this because if you're hitting, that means you're connecting. And this implies that he knows what he's doing, but for some reason it's just askew. It works sometimes, it doesn't work other times. I think that's a distorted perspective, what your idea of hit is. If somebody, let's say you're a dancing clown, you're juggling balls and people are clapping, but you want to meet an audience member. Well, in your mind, you're dancing around, juggling balls and clapping. Dancing around, juggling balls, and people are clapping. To you, that's a hit. It seems like they're giving you applause. They're like, woo, good job. That means they like you. So it seems you're on the cusp or on the verge of forming a relationship with some member in the audience you like. But other times you do the same thing. You juggle, you balance on a ball, and nobody claps because they're bored. They don't care for clowns today. But in both cases, you're just a clown. Because they're clapping doesn't mean they're super interested in talking to you or getting to know you. You're just entertaining.
I've been there. I've been the clown, yeah.
Yeah, so to say that some conversations are hit or miss, I think this is like a distortion of what a hit is. I would say this is all miss.
This is where the others enjoyed what you did, and you felt that.
Yeah, I would think more of hit and miss, meaning I know what I'm doing, and I talk to people, and some people have a good response, but other people just don't care to respond. But I know what I'm doing overall. That's what I would consider hit and miss.
I don't think that's what he meant. So.
Yeah, I don't think that's what he meant either. So sometimes it can be, goes on to say, sometimes it can be stimulating when it goes the way I want it to, and the person is able to contribute. Well, maybe he's just speaking about friendship, if he's just buddies, they're talking about philosophy or nature, and he's not necessarily asking for them to do anything other than just to stimulate him and have a conversation intellectually. Versus a girl where his goal would be more along the lines of, I want to attract this girl. So we have sex and get in a relationship. I'm a victim to those awkward silences at times. And the way I counteract this is by asking questions that have no direction with what I want. Did you go to work last night? So it's just filler questions, he's just grasping at straws. How's the weather? What did you do today? That type of thing. My ideal conversation fails to place emphasis on the application of pain and pleasure. Too much emphasis again on content. Okay, I don't think there's anything specific to cover. So again, this is hard to cover without any specifics. I was looking more along the lines of a specific conversation. Let's skip on to Travo.
I hear a whole bunch.
Travo, my perfect conversation would go something like this. I would be hiking on a winding forest trail in a park near my house when all of a sudden I would see a gorgeous blondie in tight jogging gear come around the bend. Straight towards me. Oh, she's just jogging. Her tits are flopping all over the place. And she's just like, hey, Travo, how's it going? And she would grow nearer. She grows nearer, meaning she's growing. She's eating hot dogs and getting fatter as she's getting nearer. Or her fat girth is causing her to become nearer. As she's expanding, her body is getting nearer Travo.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's not what he meant.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure he just meant as she's coming near me. But
yeah.
I like to punish these grammar faux pas.
Oh, okay. I see what you're doing.
I see what you're doing. I see what you did there.
I was wondering why you were saying that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. As she would grow nearer, I would recognize that she was someone I remember from somewhere.
She would grow nearer. Okay, I got it now.
Yeah. Thanks for catching up to speed here. I would recognize that she was someone I would remember from somewhere. Okay, so this conversation is based on him knowing a girl from somewhere. He coincidentally bumps into her again. So he has a pretense to talk to her, basically. My face would turn puzzled from me trying to remember who it was. So he's having a dream sequence here.
Yeah.
At the right moment, so that she would notice, I would extend my arm to wave and then say, hey, to grab her attention. Her jog would stumble into walk, then she would stop, looking at me with the same puzzled look that I would have. This is like a romantic comedy. Like, they bump into each other in the supermarket, and then they meet up later, and they're like, hey, I know you from somewhere.
Traveler's Wonderland.
Traveler's Wonderland in his head. You look so familiar. Have I seen you here before, baby? No, I would say, you too. She would say, I would then give her various places I could know her from high school. So he's like wasting.
Oh, this is the perfect fantasy.
Yeah, but the problem is here, this is a fantasy conversation, but it involves like so much chance. Like, he had to have seen her before, and then coincidentally bumps into her, and then they have this whole, he's like building this conversation around a pretense.
Yeah, well, that's how I used to think when I was a little kid. This girl would be her, and this.
Yeah, but this is the problem, is that instead of having a conversation and getting your expectations met, this whole pretense is about meeting her expectation. It's about like defeating the social expectation of not talking to strangers and seeming weird or a creepy old guy, or, or something like that. So you're trying to make it all plausible. Like, you bumped into each other before accidentally in the, in the meat aisle of the supermarket, and then later on you just happen to be jogging, and you remember that funny experience. Oh, hey, remember me? Oh, yeah. It's almost like a movie, like everything.
Like in the movies, yeah. I think
this is what I fucking hate about romantic movies. So-called romantic comedies or whatever.
Serendipity.
Fucking hate those cocksucker movies. It always has like this perfect pretense. Like, it has to be so perfectly arranged that it could never happen in real life.
So many movies have that theme.
And here's the thing. Here's another theme I hate. Is when the guy has to help the girl. And that's why the romance film is like, she's in trouble, and his expertise or service or whatever reason they bump into each other, he has the answer to the problem she has. Like, if he didn't have that answer, they would never talk or never meet otherwise. So there's always a pretense for them to be talking. It's like, I realize this guy's chasing you, so I'm a police officer, I can help you. And then the romance builds from there. It's never like, hey, oh, you're a stranger, I'm a stranger, we start talking. It never happens like that. So
they haven't made a movie like that.
Yeah, but then that sends a message that in order to talk to a girl, you have to be so intricately involved in her life. There has to be such an immense, rock solid pretense for talking to her. It can't be just asking the time and be interested. You have to have a reason. You have to go to law school together. Your families have to know each other. You have to have been, long lost twins. I mean, there has to be like 50 different reasons that all perfectly are congruent and coherent and perfectly make sense. Otherwise, you can't talk to her. It seems out of place.
But that's how people meet people, right? They go with those expectations and.
That's almost like the extreme. It's like people meet at work, like they're doing the same work, and then they're doing the same thing, and they get to talking over time, and then they get interested because there's no other people going on, and that's how they're talking. So obviously they become more familiar, and then maybe some affection grows, right? Yeah. But this is like a romantic comedy, so there's got to be some contrived circumstance. They're not just going to be working every day over and over, and suddenly they grow into liking each other. It's going to be some extreme situation.
It's going to be a better pretense. It's going to be a fancier pretense.
It's like, she missed the flight to Denver for Christmas, and he's a pilot of a small airplane. And he's the only pilot there, and they're the only two people in the airport. So, all the cock blockers are covered. He's the only pilot, so the transportation is covered. He has to take her, it's a dire emergency, and everything has to line. All the stars have to line. So in girls' heads, this is what makes girls so fucking retarded. It's just like astrology for retards. Romantic comedies are astrology for retards. Put that on a t-shirt. It's just like this. They go,
That's why even guys get excited sometimes when there's a chance for a pretense like that. Like,
fuck. You know what? I was talking to
they're like, bro, dude, this is your chance.
I was talking to this hot bitch yesterday, and maybe a potential hookup, but it was such a teeth puller at the end because I was like, let me call you. And I never give my phone number to a chick, but this time I gave it to her because I figured there was enough traction. We had enough emotional roller coasters going on, or enough traction beforehand that there's a possibility she could call. And I've had it happen before, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. Not as likely, though, okay? But the point is, so just talking to her, she was like, well, if we meet up again in the coffee shop, and she's trying to give me, like, time she's there, so it's kind of like she wants it to happen, but by the same token, it's like, this is going to be chance and fate, and it's going to be a romantic comedy we're building. And I just want to fucking punch her in her face. I want to pull her out through the car and run her over. I just want to let the audience soak that in, the violence of that dream.
But she's a girl. I thought that's what she would do. She's retired.
No, she's more stubborn. She's like a super cunt. It was really tough picking her up. It was like 5 hours of work.
Okay.
But she was like pretty hot, so it was kind of distracting for me. Yeah. Like, knowing if a girl gave me that much trouble at the beginning, I'd be like, fuck off, you're insane. But most girls, you talk to them and it's either on or not. Like, after a while, you're just like, it's going good, it's good to go. But she's fairly. On one hand, she's very educated, so she can talk a lot, which makes chicks totally fucking annoying as hell. Because on one hand, yes, it's great to have an education, but on the other hand, if you're an educated idiot, you become more entrenched in your opinions.
Use it to be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, it's like unfucking retards. Like, if you're a smart guy in a sense, you have a lot of knowledge about things and how to do things, but if you've been doing things the wrong way, but you get them accomplished, the fact that you get them accomplished is a problem because you've been doing things the wrong way and you could get them done more efficiently, but because you get them done, bottom line, you're like, oh, it works. So the way I'm doing it is fine. Nothing's wrong with it.
That's like me getting a master's and still not knowing the basic shit.
Yes, exactly. So he goes on and says, after we reminisce for a while, I begin completely transparent with my feelings and thoughts.
Hold on, we're talking about the chick. We're done with that? About that chick?
Yeah, we'll cover that. I'll come back to that. Remind me because I want to cover those chicks. The three chicks.
Three hookup.
Yeah. At this point in my life, my conversations not go nearly as well as they blah, 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 blah. Okay, so people didn't give specifics, which is tough, and I understand this. I guess Ladice was right. This was going to be a fail. But I didn't think he would foresee it this far, or maybe he did, and maybe he just didn't feel like explaining it to me. He was like, you're too dumb. I'm not going to explain it.
He's foreseeing a lot of things nowadays.
He's a smart guy. He's a bright guy. What do you want me to say? This guy knows what he's talking about. So, yeah, I think this, there's no point. You know what this is like? This is like asking the consumer to design a computer, and then I'll give you a computer based on what your design is. And people are like, I want it to have big purple buttons and flowers and a coffee mug. And you're like, these guys are fucking, these guys are fucking retards. What was I thinking telling them to design the computer? That's basically what I did. So I realized when we were discussing it was fail from the beginning, but now that I'm rereading it again, because some of these I kind of skimmed over, I was like, maybe I could talk about that. Now I'm covering them in depth and like, forget it. Okay, so we covered that one. Covered the conversation assignment. I should probably just delete that. No, but it's kind of interesting to see. I think maybe it'll be educational in the sense that when this is like their delusional view of the conversation, and then when they look back after being more competent and being able to talk to people and having had experience and under their belt, and they can go back to their conversations and read them again, and they can go, oh, I was really off, or oh, I was kind of close to what a conversation should sound like or look like.
Yeah, it's when you reflect back.
Okay, so the next thing is I wrote down cover Travo's time, asking time assignment, giving yourself permission to inconvenience people. Oh, I wanted to get in that whole... I wanted to address the issue, the mentality, the attitude of getting your expectations met, of feeling that you don't deserve to talk to people.
Yeah. This
is a huge problem for guys, because guys, like, to me, it's indicative of like this conversation. Actually, two conversations I overheard today at lunch. There's a table of three girls, and they're loud as fuck, and I can hear everything they're saying, and it's fucking retarded chick talk, right? And who would dare tell a chick when she's growing up, shut the fuck up, you sound stupid, I don't want to hear from you, just shut up?
It's very unlikely.
Very unlikely. In my class, it would happen on a minute-to-minute basis, but in most American classes, you'd be ostracized. You'd be considered a serial killer if you said something like that.
Oh, yes.
So most girls aren't educated to realize that most of what they say is retarded. When you speak, there's a demand put on you to not sound like a retard. Where I think guys feel that more acutely, because when a guy say things and they're off or wrong, they get ridiculed harder, or they get judged and criticized much more harshly. And so they feel it more acutely, and they realize, if I open my mouth, I better have something substantial to talk about. I can't just babble nonsense.
Yes.
So,
better have something really good.
Yeah, so I think, girls are validated and loved in school and, in society growing up, whereas guys today are like, you're an idiot, you're a loser, you need to catch up. So they're kind of more critical of guys. They expect more of guys.
Yes.
And this is good and bad in a sense. On one hand, it's good because it forces guys to examine what they're saying and to be more critical thinkers. Of course, it's not working to overall, because we're under the age of feminism where everybody's retarded. Doesn't matter. You can't be a critical thinker if you have no direction to thinking. If I just tell you think and you don't know, think about what? That's not going to help you become a better thinker. You have to have direction. Somebody has to direct your thoughts, direct you how to think, how to accomplish things with your reasoning skills. Guys don't have access to that. But at the very least, they're saying, look, that was stupid. They're telling you at least what not to say. Don't say something stupid. But they're not telling you what to say. What is an intelligent thought? How to form an intelligent thought.
Most guys never tell you what it's the
right. So these guys were sitting at the other table. There was one loud bitch. And this fucking fat, tubby sack of lard was telling, like, jokes like, these were from, like, the 1800s. Like, what the fuck were they? What do you call a man with no arms and no legs hanging on the wall? Art. What do you call a man with no arms and no legs floating in the ocean? Bob.
Oh, what?
Bob,
okay.
Okay. Like he's bobbing up and down, he's floating in the ocean.
Yeah. It's basically like putting down men.
I realize these are new to your Indian culture, and these are amazing jokes to you, but in America, these are ancient history jokes, and these are retarded, like little kids jokes, and she's laughing.
But it's like putting down guys kind of these jokes, like kind of making fun of guys.
You are such an Indian fail. No, it's nothing to do with guys. It's just the joke is so stupid.
Oh, I thought you said a man or something. A man.
Just
okay.
Never mind. The point. Let me get to the point since you don't understand. The audience will understand what's going on. Your Indian upbringing has failed you in this regard. This is an American culture joke. Yeah. So she's telling this fucking retarded joke, and she's laughing her ass off, and these guys are kind of like giving the token laughter, and in their head they're going, oh, so fucking dumb. But these guys are even talking when they're speaking. I notice when guys talk, they're kind of like this, and they talk so that the person in the vicinity, immediate vicinity, can hear them, but not like 20 miles away. Whereas girls, I don't think they have the volume control. It's like, it reminds me of like when I was a kid, I think I was pretty loud because people kept telling me, look, you're talking too loud. Like I would be excited and go like, hey, blah, blah, and then get volume real quickly. And then people tell you, hey, you shut up, you're too loud. So I'd be able to adjust me. And I would realize after enough times, oh, I'm probably being too loud. And I'm trying to hear the sound of my voice. Whereas I don't think girls, they tell girls that because they're trying to encourage girls. It's like, take care of girls' self-esteem. So it doesn't matter if she's saying something stupid. At least she's talking. So that's building her self-esteem. Whereas now she's being retarded and loud and not aware of it.
Yeah.
So I've talked to so many girls that are so loud and it's like so fucking annoying. I want to punch them in their faces. I want to have silence there so that I can let that violent thought soak in.
Oh, good.
You are one of the worst Indian co-hosts I've ever encountered.
Well, I was
on one hand, you're very exciting, but on the other hand, you're very fail, which is a double-edged sword with the Indian.
Well,
on one hand, you have the naive enthusiasm. You have the naive enthusiasm of a child, which is good for question and answer. It's like you're like a puppet, and I need you to sit there as a prop so I can speak to something, which causes me to speak more, to direct my speaking. Versus if you weren't here, it would just be harder just to talk to myself, hear myself talking. But on the other hand, because of your Chaiwala upbringing, it's very difficult to like make a point, and then you're off on another point, which has nothing to do with the main point. Chaiwala!
I think it'll take some time to sink.
I think it'll take years and years, and it'll never happen. Okay, what was the point of this? The point was...
the fat chick was talking.
So let me bring it all home. So the main point was that chicks receive this validation growing up. They receive validation for being retarded, so they don't feel it so acutely that what they say is... They have this sense of entitlement. Like we always talk about, feminism gives you the sense of entitlement. You can say whatever you want without being responsible for it. Whereas it's just the opposite for guys. Guys feel the responsibility for what they say and what girls say. What they do and what girls do. Yeah. Classic example is sex. We always talk about this. We've talked about it in the old ebook when we edited out a lot of the feminist stuff in the beginning. Yeah, that's exposing the problems with feminism. We focus more on this in the newer edition on just basically working on your skills for social competence.
Yeah, exactly.
And not emphasizing the reasoning behind it, like feminism, because it's like, yes, there's only so much you can expose before you need to go on and say, look, let's solve it. It's that we know what the problem is, but let's solve it. So there's so many examples and things that you could see where girls are being hypocritical or girls don't know what the fuck they're doing. I mean, we don't need an endless amount of examples.
Yeah, that was good in the beginning to reinforce.
It's good if you don't have any reason. Yeah. It's kind of like you wonder why you're this way versus we're focusing more. We're not focusing so much on why you're this way now. We're focusing on let's handle it. Let's do it. Let's fix it.
Let's take care of business.
Yeah, so that's more our focus right now. That's why we changed and edited out a lot of information about feminism, but actually posted it in the forum. So you can read the first part of the book that has everything we're talking about. And you can see examples about like sexuality, how all the burden is put on the man to be responsible for female behavior and male behavior. Like if you're drunk, it's rape because you can't be drunk and give consent, or you're drunk and you're the guy. Yeah, but she's drunk, she's a girl, so it's rape. But you're both drunk. Well, guess what? You're bearing the responsibility for both parties as the guy.
Yes.
So, in this sense, there's a lot of pressure put on guys to perform, and zero pressure put on girls to perform.
Yes.
In comparison, so guys develop like this justification attitude. That I have to justify everything I'm doing, my reason for talking to you. You know, when guys go up to girls, they're like, I can't do this because of X, Y, and Z. They're always thinking of, why am I doing this? Is this valid? Is this justifiable? Is it okay to do? Will I get in trouble for doing this? How will I be held accountable for what I'm doing? So guys always have this sense of responsibility forced upon them. Even for asking the time, which is like the least constraining thing. It's like, who gives a fuck, really? In the grand scheme of things, even if it's an intrusion and somebody has like 20 bags on their arm, you ask them the time, they could say no. Or they could actually like put down the bags and give you the time. Who gives a fuck? But, you know, guys feel such an acute sense of responsibility if they violate somebody's will in the sense where they're not, they feel if they don't have a reason to ask the time, they're violating like a law. Like it's illegal to talk to somebody who you don't know, who is outside of your immediate social circle.
Yeah, it's a general attitude.
It's almost as bad as, girls adhering to the social expectation of not being able to talk to strangers. It's like, I don't know you, therefore I can't talk to you. Like, how would you ever know anybody unless you could only be introduced to them? You limit how many people you could talk to.
Yes. Logically speaking, yes.
Okay, so the point is that guys have this huge responsibility thrust upon them. Also, they're incompetent, and they're criticized and mocked, and they don't have the resources that girls have. Like, fat girls have tons of resources to say, look, she's a fat girl, but we shouldn't concentrate on her weight. Or even they'll deny that she's fat girl. Look, all girls are big now. Or all girls are, average size is X, Y, and Z. There's no thought of stop picking out. You look like a tons of fun. You're making me vomit. There's no thought of that. It's always from the approach of, look, you're a victim. We need to help you out. You're a fat chick. And, I've read things, on advice columns from chicks who are like, I'm 260, but I can't get a man. Well, and I have a great personality. And instead of addressing her weight, like, hey, tons of fun. How about you fucking ease up on the, on the chocolate syrup on your eggs, right? No, instead it's like, well, you got to find a man who is, receptive to your weight and who can love you for who you are, and etc. Whereas if a guy has a problem, if you put the shoe on the other foot and you were to give advice to a guy, the immediate thing is, well, whatever he did, he's a douchebag or he's an idiot.
You need to try better. You need to do it right.
Yeah, you need to try better. You need to do it right. So it's always like blame the guy versus like sympathize with the girl. Mm-hmm. So guys grow up today under feminism with this kind of attitude of always having to justify yourself. It's always like, it's like you slap a guy enough times. Now when he comes up to you, he's like already flinching because he's ready for a slap. Mm-hmm. So guys have been slapped and they just don't realize it. To them, it's just normal growing up as a guy in America, or a guy under feminism, like in Australia. Same thing.
Yeah.
They're just total pussies over there, and they don't realize this is an abnormal thing growing up. Look at girls. They don't examine. Look at girls. Are they apprehensive about sounding stupid? I mean, this conversation I heard today would make your fucking brain melt. It was so retarded. It was like Down syndrome kids talking about Pokemon cards or something. It was ridiculous nonsense. And they don't feel that sense of shame. They don't feel that sense of guilt. They don't feel they need to justify to you anything.
Yeah, they have the approval.
Yeah, but guys don't realize this. And I think part of the answer to giving yourself permission is to realize how much permission you give girls. It's not only that you need to realize, look, you're a pussy because of your upbringing and that you're always trying to justify yourself to other people's expectations, so stop doing that. On the other hand, you also need to realize girls are privileged. They don't have to justify themselves. This should make you angry. This should make you talk out of spite, like, fuck you, I'm going to ask you the time because you get to do X, Y, and Z and you're not held accountable and I have to bear the responsibility for your actions and my actions. You're infringing on my rights. You're infringing on my free speech rights. For instance, I'm pretty sure I shared this experience one time where I went to a store, talked to a girl. I had no idea I'd talked to her before, right? I talked to billions of girls. And I met this girl in another store by coincidence. And I said something like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And in her mind, I was stalking her. It wasn't the same day, but it was like a later time. And in her mind, I'm stalking her because I talked to her again. And meanwhile, I have no idea who she is. And I just say a comment in passing, right? She goes to the store manager, and the store manager threatens me with, look, you fucking pull it together. And I said, I didn't do that. I didn't say anything. And so basically she said, right? It's her word against mine. So I said, look, if I get another complaint, you're not allowed to shop in the store again. Not was she lying, not did I say something offensive, not what did I say. It's just that if I got a complaint, not what the complaint is about or if it was valid or not. So in a sense, it's not if you're guilty or not, it's if you get accused. Which is really what he's saying. It's saying, look, if a girl accuses you of any wrongdoing, you're at fault. It's not about your guilt or innocence. It's about the accusation, about how a girl feels. It's how you make girls feel. It's not what is right or what is wrong, which is what the society we've become today. Yeah. That should make you angry as a man. That should make you say, fuck you, bitch. I'm gonna take my rights as a man. I'm gonna stand up for myself as a man. That should give you that ire, that should light a fire under you to say, look, I want my rights back. You don't realize your rights are being stolen away from you slowly. Just because it's so subtle, it happens so gradually. But in every sense of the word, your rights are being taken away from you. And this kind of like made me angry to realize this. And now I'm like, I sell them. I almost go overboard. I know in some cases it's perfectly fine to justify yourself. In fact, that's conducive to normal conversation to justify yourself and your motives to people at some point, especially for people you care about, right? You're trying to form a relationship with. It's perfectly fine to justify yourself for, if they respect you, to justify your actions because you're taking care of them, right? You're responsible for them. But because of like feminism, I almost have the opposite approach where sometimes I don't justify myself when I know I should. And I just say, fuck you, I'm going to do it anyway. Or it's my way because, or I'm going to do it without justification, explanation, even though it might help me or serve the purpose to justify myself. I won't give that.
Okay.
Just because I'm giving an extra fuck you to feminism. I'm saying, look, if you feel you're entitled to say anything you want to me, great. I'm going to play the same game. I'm going to play it according to your rules. You're not going to be able to change the rules and have your cake and eat it too and say, I can't say anything if it offends you, but you can say whatever you want if it offends me. This is the same with like this bitch that I was talking to. It's a perfect example. If I recorded that conversation, you would see a perfect example of this chick accusing me of this and that, and I've got to answer, and I'm answering these accusations. I was making the mistake of answering some accusations, and then when I realized that, I started just basically going, "Look, this is bullshit. I need to just I need to start disapproving of these accusations versus justifying myself to her." So we're having a debate, and I got sucked in because sometimes I like intellectually covering an issue, and I got sucked into thinking she was a guy because she was brighter than a normal girl. That kind of sucked me in. I was kind of intrigued by that. So we started debating this intellectually, and I realized at some point she's a chick because her emotions get involved, and she just there's no concrete reasoning going on behind her point. So she's making these accusations about me, I'm this, I'm that, and I'm addressing her mischaracterizations. But then when I do something and say, look, you're insecure, you're this or that, immediately she becomes the victim and says, look, you're attacking me, this and that. And I point out, look, you did that to me. So she has like these rules for my conduct, but she has no rules for her own, governing her own conduct. All her arguments are, look what you're doing to me. There's no thought of, what am I doing to you? Am I the cause of any of this? Am I provoking anything?
Critical and delusional.
Yeah, it's like a kid. They always are looking at the situation outwardly, like, what are you doing to me?
Yeah.
How can I get something out of this? It's very like self-absorbed view. And that's really women today. They're very childish. They're very like, what did you do to me? What did I do to deserve this treatment from you? And they don't consider what they're doing. They give themselves complete license. That's why you see so much hypocritical behavior. And it seems like when it's pointed out, it becomes laughable. Because on one hand, you would think, this girl's a fucking retard. Shouldn't she know this? But really, she's been trained to ignore that. I wish I could point to some specific examples in the news. Let me think of it. See if I can think of a current story. Oh, perfect example would be like politicians today. Like some of the female politicians, they make jabs at their opponent about this and that. Like, who's that? I was listening to Meg Whitman talking about we're going to be tough on illegal aliens. And meanwhile, she's hired an illegal alien and is paying her under the table. So it's like, it seems like it should be so obvious, shouldn't it? It's like, if you're saying something, shouldn't you at least police yourself? The thing that you're requiring of the other person, shouldn't you at least go, hey, is there any problem with what I'm requiring of this person? Do I have problems fulfilling that same requirement? Can I ask that of myself? And there's no thought of that with a girl today, especially today. It's like, fulfill my demands, fulfill my requirements. I don't care if they're reasonable or not. And your demands and requirements don't matter to me. That's really why they do that. That's really why you see so many ridiculous examples of female hypocrisy. And you're just like, how can this girl do this? Well, it's because she's trained to just ignore that. What's that?
She might even rationalize it, saying, "Oh, I was just helping her out some."
Well, yeah, for sure. Girls engage in all kinds of denial and distortions because nobody's taught to say, "Look, that's wrong, that's off." They're taught to just go, "Oh, you know what? She has self-esteem issues. We don't want to give her an eating disorder, so let's coddle her opinion, even if she's wrong, even if it's dysfunctional, even if it's going to hurt her or society. The most important thing is her self-esteem." So girls are taught from the very outset, it's more important how you feel than the effect you have on others' lives around you. So it's understandable why guys feel this way, and they're so apprehensive to even ask the fucking time. Like I'm thinking to myself, guys, you're asking the fucking time, and this is because I care so much about my expectations at this point. So it's almost hard to fathom what it's like being like a so-called dork or nerd who just is like so submissive and so worried about what girls think of him that he shuts up and is worried about what he's saying and nervous about talking to a girl and so nervous what a girl will think of him.
What others around him will think.
What others around him will think. And I think the more it's twofold. There has to be some models of behavior. There has to be some guys like me that say, look, here's how I do it. Here's the right way to do it. Here's your attitude you should have. You need to have some inspiration, some mentor. Guys need to look at me and go, look at Plum with his cape and his P on his shirt. Not P. I mean the letter P, like Superman.
Okay. Oh, sweet.
Superhero Plum, yes.
Yeah.
So you need to see me with a cape in your mind and a letter P saying.
And aspire to be that way one day.
Yes, you aspire to get your own cape and say, look, I want to fuck bitches up. I want to be in charge. I want to get my dick sucked in an alley at 12 a.m. last night. I want to do that.
Like I want to be Batman. I want to be
I want to be Batman. Exactly. So I want to inspire guys to say, look, get a fucking spine. Get a pair of balls. You want to get where I've gotten.
Yeah. I like this.
Time to fucking see what you're missing out on. It's time to realize what you're being robbed of, your rights by feminism, and time to realize what problems you're perpetuating with your behavior, with your submissive, justifying, feminine behavior. This is not masculine behavior. This is feminine behavior. As we all know, the default female position, the natural female position, is one of submission.
Yes.
So, and the good thing is, on that call I recorded yesterday of talking to the chick, there's some good examples talking about submission, like how in the beginning she's very aggressive and like, I be in charge, blah, blah, blah. But then when she had the experience of the guy being in charge, she totally enjoyed it. So I almost made it like a court case when I was grilling her.
Okay, I have something to tell you about. I'll tell you something else.
Oh, I want to hear that. Oh, I want to hear that. So did I cover that, or do you have any other questions about that, justifying yourself to girls? Anything else about that you want to talk about?
No, I like the fact where you put in the thing where, we should aspire, we have something to aspire for, and it's an opportunity to, like, fuck what is wrong, and this is an opportunity to do things right. And
Sweet. Yeah. Okay, what's up next?
I don't know, there was some other topic. I was going to tell you something about some Indian girl I spoke to.
Let's hear the Indian update report.
Nothing. This is just some girl who added me on Skype, and I was talking to her, and I was like, started talking about like manhood, like how a man should be in authority and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And initially, she was like resisting. She's like, and she posted some of what I said on Facebook. But anyway, and now like slowly she's coming along. Like she's like a 6, so I just tell her whatever. I was like, you should do this, you should do that.
You don't care. Like fuck that, do this, do that, right?
And now she's like, her parents are looking for a groom, and she went and met this guy, and now she's coming back, and she's like, he's such a wuss. I don't like him. He doesn't make a decision. I was like,
look at you.
I was like, see, you were fighting me first, and now you're agreeing to all my stuff. She's like, yeah, well.
I love that when chicks. It's so satisfying. Like chicks totally disagree with you, and then you don't change your position, and then they come around to start agreeing with you.
And now
so
she's
satisfying.
Like, so I'm telling you should send this guy over here, and so that you can get some training. And I had the text chat. She's like, yeah, I totally agree.
That's what I say. And so you guys fingered each other over cam? You guys had cam sex? Indian cam sex?
I told her I was like,
touch your dot, touch the dot. Touch both dots.
And she's like, no other guy speaks to me the way you do. Like,
no other guy is there to show the balls to me. You're the only one with me. On the next time on camera, this is what I want you to do. I want you to take out your balls and put them on the camera and say, lick those balls. Now, give me the cam ball lick. Tell her you're going to hang up on her. She doesn't lick the balls.
Okay.
You got to push the envelope, man. This is your chick.
Yeah, okay. But what about cultural differences, man? Sometimes, girls...
Yeah, it might not be appropriate to have your balls out on the camera. I like to make a girl decide, though. I'm always like, look, go forward, go forward, go forward. Make the girl decide. If you don't make the girl decide, she's indecisive by nature. You need to be the decider. So make her decide. Your balls will make her decide whether she's going to go, oh my gosh, it's so shocking. Or she'll go, like, okay, maybe one lick of the screen. Maybe I'll lick it one time, but that's it. I never do this. I never do this in my country. First of all, no Indian guy puts balls on the screen. And secondly, I don't lick on the first date. I don't lick balls. This is the only time I'll do it. And she just licks it. Then see, you brought her past the barrier of the social expectation into your perverse, sick Indian expectations of ball licking.
Okay. I can see that in the conversation with her, though, because initially she's like, that's so gross, and now she's disgusting. Like open to me saying whatever.
Oh yeah, this chick I was talking about, the blowjob chick, she used to tell me, like, in the beginning, just recently met her, but she always used to say, oh, that's so gross, oh, I can't believe you're not allowed to say that, you're not allowed to say this, you're not allowed to say that, like, the whole time, like, and then later she's telling me, oh, remember when I said that? Yeah, I didn't like it, but I got turned on by it. Hilarious.
Yeah, I was making some jokes, and she said she went and met this guy. I was like, so did he try to grope you? And she's like, actually, no, I kind of wish he did.
I wish he did. Tell me, you should tell me about it, because I want to stroke it to your story. And then just whip it out. She'd be like, oh, you can't do that. And then she'd go, wait, let me see. Oh, look at your Indian pee-pee. Oh, so lovely, so dark, like Shiva. Okay. What about that other chick? That's your other Indian chick. Your hot Indian. What happened?
I texted her yesterday.
Yeah.
After I left that voicemail. This is what she said. She was like, hey, Nikhil, what's up? Yeah, we didn't go whatever. The voicemail you left me made me feel a little overwhelmed, honestly. I'm not used to 10-minute voicemails, LOL. It seems like we're both in different phases. Anyways, we'll see.
Well, that's a competing expectation. You gotta go, yeah, it's good that I'm you gotta support your expectation. Her expectations, that's too much. We gotta do it on my schedule. Your expectation needs to be, look, it's good for a guy to be interested. It's okay that I left this long message. You need to support your expectation while doing what?
Applying pain. Okay. Well, disqualifying her expectation.
Disqualifying? What the fuck does that? It's okay. Yeah, I'll accept it. Judges will accept that answer. Disqualifying her expectation, applying pain to her expectation, basically saying, look, your expectation is retarded.
Okay.
My expectation is a good one. What does that do? What does that accomplish? Why do you need to do that? Why can't you just introduce your expectation?
It's her bad expectation with a more functional expectation that can lead to possibly.
Why do you need to even bother with her expectation? Why can't you just support your expectation?
Well, her dysfunctional expectation has to be removed, or it's going to be a hindrance for future.
Yes, you have to address that. Otherwise, there's a problem. If you don't address that problem, it's just like you competing. You're just saying mine's better, but it's like always butting head with hers because yours is like an option. It's not the right one. It's just an option. She has to know why hers is wrong in order to get rid of it.
Okay. Anyway, so I did something really wrong. I just justified. I was like, relax. I was just having fun on the...
Oh, you fucking faggot. You are the biggest fucking faggot. The worst student at Manhood Academy. Congratulations.
Well, okay, she said this one thing. I don't feel right for you to come all the way down here.
Shut that bitch up. Did you call her again? Why don't you call her right now and stop being a fag and leave another message since you fucked up on text, obviously, with your faggot response. Ugh.
Okay, she's probably not going to answer, but I'm going to call.
You should just join a gay Indian bathhouse. It's much easier. So what did she say at the end? What? Anything interesting?
Okay, in the end, I like went super faggot. Okay,
you went super faggot, and then what? She was like, "Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know you're gay."
She was
I didn't know you're gay.
Oh, see you around,
see you around. I'll introduce you to my brother. Oh, see you around.
I'm just like friends or something. I was like,
let's just be friends.
I was like, yeah, of course I like you, my friend, potential for girlfriend, but we haven't gone out on our first date or hell.
Yeah. So you got to say, look.
She's like, this is okay. This is what she said. Then I realized I haven't created enough attraction. She's like, first date, hold hands, LOL, goodness. This is what I mean by overwhelming stuff.
Yeah, good.
Wait till the girl says I'm attracted to you, then bring these words in and because if I'm not attracted to you, then I'll feel like you're moving fast even when you're not.
So what do you need to do?
So I tried.
What do you need to do, retard?
I need to disapprove of her expectation.
Yeah, if you don't do that, what happens?
She keeps her expectation and keeps causing a pain. Nothing happens. Nothing.
You know what's going to happen, you retard? If you don't address her expectation, she's going to go, it's wrong if you do that. It's creepy. It's too soon. If you just go, my expectation's cool and I like it, and I like talking to you, she's still going to think it's wrong. It's creepy. It doesn't matter how great you have to address her expectation and go, that's bad. That's wrong.
Okay.
Because otherwise you're headbutting expectations. Didn't we cover this like a billion times?
Yeah, I thought I'll apply pain, and this is what I did. I wrote,
how did you apply pain to her expectation? Tell me. Why should I give up my expectation?
This is what I did. I'll tell you what I did.
I'm the girl. Oh, Nikhil, you're so fast. You need to wait for the girl.
All right, and I'll tell you what I did. I said, I didn't realize I had to go 15th century with you. Ask your grandma if it's okay to go out with you. Have a chaperone, strict 2 feet distance. I didn't realize you were so shy. But I like that. I'm going to be over in the area for some Halloween stuff, and I'd like to swing by if you're available next weekend.
And then you forgot to support your expectation by saying again, you like her. You think she's beautiful. You think she's awesome. You think she's great. You can't wait to see her again. You can't wait to see her beautiful eyes, blah, blah, blah. You forgot to support your expectation because she said you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to say you like me. You're not allowed to go for it. You're not allowed to talk about us dating.
Okay.
2 simple things. Listen.
Yeah. Okay.
This is why you're the worst student ever. You should know this stuff by now. You've been in this class for 15 years straight. You realize that, right? You're going on year 16 now of Manhood Academy. You know when people graduate and they get taller? You're like a kid who's like this, you're like 12 feet high and you're in kindergarten right now.
Took me 3 seconds to get the joke.
Yes. You're the worst student in kindergarten. You need to learn. There's only 2 colors, black and white, in the box. In Manhood Academy, there's only... Well, there's these 2 things you gotta do.
Disapprove of her expectation.
Yes.
Replace it with my expectation.
Yes. But so what are you doing when you're replacing it?
Validate my expectation.
Yes. You just say, mine is good, mine is good, mine is good, yours is bad, yours is bad, yours is bad. How much simpler can it be?
Okay. So in this case, the mistake I did was I just said hers is bad, and I didn't really validate my expectation.
Yes, you fuck. That's all you need is thumbs. Look all you need to remember is get a t-shirt and go, Thumbs down to your expectation. Maybe we should make T-shirts for you guys. A thumbs down that says what I think of your idea, and thumbs up for what I think of my idea.
Okay.
So just like a simple memory tool, mnemonic, whatever you want to call it.
I like it.
Remember when I gave you the two fingers? And do what I say or fuck you. Yeah, that's what you need is a thumbs down, thumbs up. Look at. If you said something you don't like, you go thumbs down, and then you tell all the reasons why. Bad, wrong. That's retarded. That causes cancer. It's evil. It'll cause problems in the relationship. That's why you can't get a person. You're so shy. It's so terrible. Yours is so old fashioned. It's so it's so nerdy. It's so dorky. It's so it's like for shy, nerdy people that don't socialize. Now look at mine on the other hand. Thumbs up. Oh, it's so perfect. It's so good to getting to know you. It helps us get closer together. It's so awesome when guys are not forward, but they're go after what they want. Basically setting the expectation the way we want it. We don't go with her characterization. What's her mischaracterization? Too fast, too forward. You're too bold. You're a pervert.
I was getting caught up in her expectations.
Yeah, because you're a fag. We already covered this. Okay. You just need to go, look, yours is this. And you always go back to supporting yours. I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm this. We characterize it the way we want. How do you want to characterize what you're doing? Is forward? Look, Nikhil, you're too forward. You're too forward. You're too bad. You're such a bad boy. You're such a pervert.
Okay. This is where I think I fucked up. Where I thought
I don't want to hear you talk about it. You are terrible. Just tell me what you're doing. You're perverted. You're bad. Boggles, you're disgusting. You're a sick pervert. You're too fast. You're moving too fast. Don't beat off when you're talking to her. Answer the question. Answer the accusation.
Shh. You don't know what you're saying. Of course I have to go after you. I have to talk to you. Not of course. If I didn't talk to you, we would never meet.
Yes.
This is silly. Stop being silly and let's meet up. Yes.
You're childish. It's like a little baby. It's so cute. You're so tiny. You're so helpless. You're so worried. And you're so shy. This is like your first romance, your first true romance. You gotta characterize her as a nerd. Like she has no idea what's going on socially. Okay. Yes, it's true that you have no idea what's going on socially, but you need to characterize that she has no idea what's going on socially.
Yes.
Knock off the Indian justification.
Yes.
Support your expectation.
My expectation. Okay. Disapprove her expectation.
Alright, let's call this bitch up. Let's go.
And voicemail.
Voicemail, you need a long one about how hers is a silly expectation, how yours is perfect. If we get on the phone, same thing.
Okay.
All we need is thumbs up, thumbs down. Alright? I'm just going to give you a signal.
Okay.
Whenever I go thumbs down, that's her expectation. All you're going to do is just say, that's wrong, it's bad. And when I go thumbs up, that's a signal for your expectation. Support it. Support your expectation. Put her expectation down.
Okay.
Get rid of it. Destroy it. Annihilate it. Crush it.
Alright.
Get on the phone with this bitch. I like the sound of the phone ring. It's like the ring for nervousness. Oh, the roller coaster's about to start. The pressure's cooking. It's building. It's boggles. Your call has been forwarded to an ancient vagina. For the rest home, press 7. At the tone, please press 4 to feed me shredded wheat.
Hey Pooja, I got your text messages. That's crazy. Your expectations, they suck. If I kept listening to what you say, we'll never meet. I don't know how you meet people with those kind of expectations. It's always going to be headaches. I pass with this. What I want is better. If you follow what I say, we'll meet up, we'll have a good time. Things will blossom. It'll be awesome. Oh, it rhymed. Beautiful. Anyways, the point was, got sidetracked there. Yeah, you're right. All these crazy things, you're too far. If I don't go after something that I like, if I see a girl, I like you, I want to get to know you. If I don't call you, if I don't text you and say, hey, let's meet up, let's do this, give you future possibilities. It won't go forward. If we did what you said, we would imagine if the whole world did what you said, people would never meet. The whole world would be there would never be any romance. There would be only sadness and loneliness and craziness, and there'd be a whole bunch of serial killers. Anyway, so people would be sad. If we did what I said, people would be happy. People would be full of joy. People cancer will get cured. Yeah, so yeah, of course I have to go after you. I have to call you, text you, and say, hey, let's meet up, let's do this, let's hold hands, and that moves things forward. So, yeah. And I like the way you make me feel. That's one of the big reasons why I feel like calling you, talking to you, and, take a few pictures, and, like, kind of cute. You have this, like, cute little voice. So I know you can be really cute, and it's just that I have to, meet you, and that'll come out. I do it right. You do the way, you meet up, you do stuff. Your sweetness, your tenderness will come out. There's no question. It's more of a when. And, see, now thinking about you, I had to pause. I had to pause like 4 seconds. So, you should listen to the voicemail, think about what I say, and hurry up, and then call, and then meet up. Because that way, you can actually do what I was thinking about, what I'm talking about. And, what else? Yeah, so, we just want to tell you, I'm the man, and I'm going to tell you things that are going to be good for both of us. Both that way, both of us can have fun and not be lonely, sad, and miserable. And by following what I say, it's gonna be better. And, so, and then I can come see you, look into your beautiful little eyes, and then tell you how I feel about you right in front of you while you're there, rather than over here on the freaking voicemail. That's way better when I tell you in person. You can see your magical little eyes and be lost in it, and it'll be so wonderful. We'll be like in Disneyland, even though we're not in Disneyland. We'll be like standing on like a street corner, and we'll feel like we're in Disneyland, in Magic Land. You'll be like little Alice in Wonderland or something, and I'll be like this, I don't know, some guy in Alice in Wonderland.
You Indian fag. Just send it with urgent delivery. Send that with fucking urgent delivery. Hell yeah. We always fill our messages. What the fuck? Send that thing. Do we have to listen to this faggy thing? Just hang it up or press the button for sending it? Press 2. Yeah, for sure, press 2. That's urgent. Hell yeah.
Awesome, I feel so good, Linda.
I mean, it's so elated. This is where you're on stage and I've touched you with the healing crystals and then yes, I feel alive.
I feel it.
I feel it.
I'm liberated. My soul is actually coming out.
Finally, you didn't fag out. What about that other Indian chick? What happened with her?
She said she had to go to work, so I ended up, then I know. We could call her right now.
Call that bitch right now. Come on. It takes so long to call these bitches. You should be calling them the next day. What happened? Why didn't you call the next day?
I was out.
Yeah, you pussed out. You fag.
Alright, calling her right now. Hey, I was waiting.
Let me tell you the worst that can happen. You won't get her. You already don't have her, so you can really only go up.
Okay.
You already don't have her. It's not like you do have her, so there's no reason to puss out. The worst that can happen is you still don't have her. Congratulations, you're in the same place.
Okay.
Fuck.
Alright, calling right now. One more voice now.
Yeah, bitch. Just leave the message. Press the 1. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Hey, Priya, this is your man, Nick. You crazy little girl. You're not answering your phone again. You're shy again. After I left this beautiful message and we talked, and I thought you'd be, like, rushing to come back home, and then, after work, after a long day, and, like, call me, and then we talk, then I come, I see you. But no. Gosh. If we did things the way you think about things, things never get done. That's the problem. You listen to me, listen to what I say. Me listen to what I say, we meet up, we have fun. Fuck.
That old lady has a short message. She's like, get the fuck out of here. Just send it. Who cares? Who cares? Send it.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, you fuck. Just hang up. Hang up.
I just send it.
Just send it.
Urgent.
Dude, who cares? Fucking hang up on that. You take too long on a phone call. Just leave it
How
and
did
done.
that happen? How come I wasn't able to go into 4-minute voicemail?
Who knows? Maybe she was like, that Sprint email was knew you were going to leave such a faggy long message. It was like preemptive strike.
Huh, okay.
Oh, you know what? There's this thing I regret yesterday. Still bugging me. I'm still thinking about this super hot chick walks out, and I'm not sure if she was super hot, but it was like I kind of was processing it slowly in my head, and she was walking, and I was for sure going to go over and talk to her. I had no problem talking to her. The only problem was I saw these two guys in the car next to her, and they stopped there talking because she was super hot, and they started looking at her as she was walking around the car, and now it would be an audience because I would have to talk to her while those two guys were watching, and that's the only thing that stopped me. I had no problem just talking to her, like going up to talk to her. I was like, fuck, these guys had to be there. But if they weren't there, I would no problem just talking to her.
It generally doesn't stop you, though. So.
Yeah, but I don't like guys hearing me. I feel I'm on stage. I feel nervous. I know they'd be looking at me while I'm talking. Like, this guy has no reason to just come over from the car, so obviously he's hitting on her. Like, I knew that they knew what I would be thinking, so it makes me feel self-conscious.
I mean,
so,
we've been to clubs and there have been guys listening to what you say.
Yeah, but it's in clubs. It's like, in the club, it's, who cares, because it's more of an expectation, whereas out there, there's no club music or anything like to kind of,
to the artificial social.
Yeah, it's like an artificial social situation. Whereas I got to create the social situation. It's got to be like right out in the open that I like her and I'm talking to her. I'm trying to pick her up. It's obvious. So it's a little more pressure with these two guys watching me. And if I fail, if she's just there, I don't care. It doesn't matter. If she's a hot chick, I have no problem just talking to her. But if there's two guys there and it becomes awkward with her or something like that happens, I just imagine the worst. Then it's like the whole audience is there and it's gonna be painful. Now you got to think of the price, the opportunity cost. She's a hot chick, so. Yes, I should always go there. But, like, if let's say I had 2 minutes to reason about it. When I reason, I usually come to the conclusion, I go down to, how hot is the chick? Is it worth the pain of, like, having the humiliation if it doesn't work out? Like, let's say it goes just worst possible case. She just goes, no thank you. And the guys just go, oof. I mean, it would sting for a little bit, but, it's a hot chick and you got to take a chance. It's a super hot chick because you could be with her.
Yes.
You could be banging her. So if I thought about that for 2 minutes, I think I would have just been no problem. Because when I thought about it in the car, I was like, I shouldn't have cared what those guys are doing there. I should have just went for it. So that was bothering me the whole time. Because I considered, when I first saw her, I saw her, and I was like ready to go right over there, and I started walking, and then the two guys, I'm like, oh, fuck, those two guys have to be right there. I was like, fuck, they're cock blocking my game. Because I was thinking, like, I think sometimes where girls, usually it's not a problem when I'm talking to a girl, but every now and then there's a girl who's, like, super loud. She's like, hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, this is one of those stupid, annoying, super loud girls. Usually a girl just talk to you and not announce to the world what's going on in the conversation for, like, but every now and then there's a girl who's just, like, super, hey, what's going on? It's like, fuck, shut up, bitch. I don't want to announce everything to the whole world. But, again, we're on a parking lot. It's just the two guys there, so...
That kind of surprising.
It's at least I wouldn't have done it if those two guys knew her, like they were buddies, like right by her, talking to her, and I didn't know the situation, but they were friends. I definitely wouldn't have done it. I wouldn't have done it. But since they're strangers, but their car next to her, it's not as big an issue. It's still an issue because there's people watching me. That to me feels more pressure.
So it's like a social pressure.
I don't feel the social pressure from the beautiful girl. I feel the social pressure from the guys watching, yeah.
But they prevented you from doing something functional or something where you could meet a chick.
Right, exactly. So I was pissed off because she was like, I think she was pretty hot from what I remember. I was like, fuck, I need to talk to that chick right now. And it was funny because I was meeting a chick, like, I just got a message and there was a chick I was supposed to meet, like, at the coffee shop, like, right then and there. And she had just arrived and she sent me a text message so I have, like, distraction on the phone. I've got to think because I'm going into the store and I'm going to try and pick up a chick in the store while I'm meeting this other girl, right? And she just texts me. She's right at this store, like literally 10 stores down from where I'm walking to. And then the super hot chick comes out. Plus I see the two guys standing right there. So like I'm thinking about 20 things at once. So it's like, fuck, if I just, if I could narrow down some things, at least I don't think myself out of things. I think myself into things, whereas the tendency is when you're not social and you think of doom and gloom, you don't have any experience, you tend to think yourself out of things like, oh, this is so terrible, it's not worth it, blah, blah, blah. Whereas once you have experience, you become more realistic about your thoughts. Like, would I do this? Like, I know now, like if there were two guys standing there and talking to her, I would never go up and talk to her. It's just in a parking lot, it's too much social pressure for me. But if they're, like that situation, manageable. I could have pulled it off, no problem. But because of the guys watching there, watching her, they would know obviously that I was going up to try and pick her up. It put social pressure on me. It made me consider it. It was like, But I know, like, thinking about it, like, if it's just her and she's super hot, I have no problem, as I was already walking over to talk to her. So having some experience, you kind of, like, become objective and are able to not be so delusional about your thought process. Like, oh, I definitely would have picked her up. I definitely would have gone over there, or I could never talk to the girl. She probably hates me, and she's going to laugh at me. And, a billion different mental gymnastics your mind goes through when you have no social experience and you have all these distorted thoughts already.
Yeah.
So that is a small comfort, even though it's no comfort when a hot chick goes by. Like, in my mind, it's always, if there's a hot chick, always take the opportunity. And even sometimes it's frustrating because sometimes I'm talking to a chick and she could be like, maybe there's no hot chicks around, right? And so you're like, well, okay, she's like a okay chick, so she'll do. And you get her attracted, whatever. But then you see a hot chick walking by. Like, to me, that's frustrating because on one hand, I want to always talk to the hotter chick, right? Yeah. If I like her, because there's a potential, like, I want to get into a serious thing with her. Yeah. Whereas this chick I'm talking to, I'm like realizing if I just cut off and just start going to the hot chick, she's gonna feel really bad. It's just, it's just a awkward situation for her, and it'll be awkward in the sense that I'll feel bad for her, but still, it's like I want to talk to the hot chick. So that to me it was tough because I had that experience, and this comes back to a couple days ago where I was just on a lunch break. I had an hour, and I picked up 3 chicks in an hour in this supermarket where I was getting some deli food. And the first chick was this blonde, like milfy chick with nice boobs and everything and legs. And
that reminds me of something. Anyways.
Yeah, so it was just like I came and approached with very good body language and standing straight, not hunched over, not apologetic, just trying to justify myself with not just with my language, but also with my body language, with how I appear. Like, yeah, that was the important thing, and that was also covered by this chick in this call, this other chick, on the call about when guys approach her, the body language is very submissive. It's like shoulders bent over, you look all worried and nervous. And
that's what the Indian guy said when Indian girl said when she met up with that guy. She was talking about.
I think it's also the term that she used was uncomfortable. Like, you felt comfortable in your skin, she said about me, whereas these other guys, they don't feel comfortable with themselves, and it shows in their body language, like looking away, not being able to look her in the eye, hunched over, things like that.
That's so funny. That's exactly what the Indian chick said.
Well, there you go. It's common. It's a common theme. So
not looking her in the eye, I specifically remember that.
Those little things are telltale signs of your authority, your expectations. They say, look, I'm giving myself permission to look at you. I like you. I'm looking at you. I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not allowed to look at you, or oh, I'm so worried about what you're thinking of me, I'm going to look away and be so shy.
I just stare at her.
Right, stare. You do the serial killer stuff, fine. Okay, so it was just really good body language from the beginning, and I just really presented real quickly right off the bat, and she was like very receptive and open, so I knew it was on. So then I started just kind of escalating a little bit and like just saying, oh, you look so good. I would just, you need to be careful because I want to just like take you right against the soup counter right here. And she's like, oh, you're so too much. And if she's not saying, oh, I'm got to leave, or, oh, it's on. So I knew it was already on at that point. When you, like I said, like if you step forward, like for instance, I was exaggerating when I say put your balls on the screen, but in a sense I wasn't, because like you obviously don't care about this chick.
No,
but you can find out if she's horny or not. If you put your balls out and you say, look, you're not apologetic about it, and say, look, tell me something about you, or show your tits because I want to stroke it right now, and you're not apologetic about it, and you just take out your car and start stroking it, she's either going to go, oh, that's gross, and like, I got to go, or she's going to go like, oh, that's gross, don't do that. And if she's standing there, the fact that she's not leaving, interested, it's on. So really, that's like what it is. It's almost like with this girl, I realize just from experience, you got to look at not what girls say, but how they behave, how they react. If I say something explicit, which is going to basically force her to decide, like if I say, oh, you're so beautiful, I want to kiss you, you look so yummy, or I'm so attracted to you, either she's going to feel like, oh, too much, and I got to go, and make excuses to go, or she's going to be like, oh, that's too much, too soon, too early, whatever. But if she's there, she's appreciating it, it means it's fine. It's you going forward with your expectation. So if I go even further, and I say, look, oh, you look so delicious, I want to just like grab you and take you right now. And she's like, oh, you're so crazy. She's not saying, I hate the idea. I mean, maybe with your ears you hear that because guys are like, what is the congruent message? Because they think girls are like guys where they say what they mean. They don't. Girls say what they mean with their actions, not with their words. So she's like, oh, you're so crazy. Because girls want the responsibility to rest on you. You're the responsible one. They don't want to feel responsible for being sexual or being excited by you. So she'll say, oh, you're crazy. But if she's not leaving and she's like still talking, and then she asks me, so she changed the subject, like, so what do you do for work? Well, she's interested because I just made a sexual overture, like, you look so delicious. But she doesn't want to, like, seem like a slut or anything. So, but she's still interested. So she's just going to change the subject. But obviously that means she's interested. So at that point, I know it's on. It's just a matter of just leading it in that direction. So when I'm basically doing that is I'm saying, look, I'm interested. I'm letting you know I'm interested, and that's the way I want it to go. I'm letting her know my expectation in a little indirect way. I'm not just saying, look, I want to bang you right now, but I'm kind of implying that.
Yeah.
And also I might be saying, look, if I look at her and I'm like, oh, you're so yummy looking, or you look so delicious, or you look so gorgeous, or you look so lovely. Oh, I like your eyes. They're so blue or brown, or your hair is so, it's gorgeous. It's great. I want to just like run my fingers through it. It's so good. Those type of things, let her know that's my expectation. I like you, right? In a indirect way without just saying, I like you. It's saying, I like you because, which is a little stronger than just saying, I like you, because girls always want to have that reason, that pretense. So it's easy if you just throw in a, compliment with that, like, oh, the way you said that, oh, that's so cute. It just makes me want to just grab you, kiss you or something. So I'm letting her know my expectation, which is forcing her to decide. Is she going to be interested or not interested? And it's not just saying, hey, I like you, decide.
Is there a reason why you like her, the pretense?
Yeah, the pretense is kind of like giving her the reason to, it's almost like surpassing, it's bypassing the social expectation of you're not allowed to talk to strangers. Or you're not allowed to be forward. Like if I just said, I like you, I want to date you. Well, you could say that and mean that, but to a girl, it's going to be such a foreign concept because she doesn't, in her mind, she has to get to know you to like you. Whereas you're a guy, you have to let her know your expectation. So you can kind of bypass that just by creating the social expectation by, look, your eyes are so gorgeous. I want to just like grab you and kiss you. Yeah. So it's like her fault. You're making it her fault.
Okay.
So you're basically saying, this is the pretense for me liking you. Your eyes are so gorgeous. That's why I'm so drawn to you. Now I have created a pretense. Now it's okay for me to like her versus.
Is that also incentive though when I say that's kind of expression?
It's a lot of things overlapping because there's also the way I'm saying it, the tone. I'm not going, oh, I like you. I'm not monotone. I'm very expressive. I'm looking at her in the eyes. I'm using good posture. So there's all these things overlapping and working at once.
Of incentive and pretense.
Yeah, retarded guys who don't understand anything are always looking at what's the step or what are you doing specifically. It's a lot of things are happening at once. We talk about things, we talk about aspects of attraction or aspects of social interaction or aspects of authority to highlight what it is you should either be focusing on or be aware of. Like your body language is an important thing.
Dynamic, like a whole
but it doesn't just mean, when we say body language, stand up straight, it doesn't just mean concentrate on standing up straight. It means this is one aspect of the overall social interaction. Your body language says things. The tone of your voice says things. We cover them individually to let you know there are certain symptoms of of poor authority. Like if I tell you, but could you please do what I asked you to do? And I'm all stammering and stuttering.
Incentivizing for me to do
it may be what I want you to do, right?
Yes.
I want you to go and do that thing I asked you to do.
It doesn't provide enough incentive for me to do it.
Well, it might not, but it might not be authoritative in my tone. So there's different things that like maybe symptomatic of you having problems expressing your authority. So we mentioned those things individually to highlight those symptoms or those problems, but that we're not concerned with just the symptom. We're concerned with the root of expressing your authority to another person, to a guy or to a girl, etc. And when these things happen in real life, they overlap. When I'm talking to you right now, I'm emphasizing words, I'm looking at you, I'm using voice, my voice is changing, tone, inflection, I'm being direct with what I'm saying, I'm not asking your permission, I'm not trying to justify myself so much to you, like do I have permission to say these things to you? So all these things are working in concert to present an orderly appearance of authority. So you see all these things at once, and it feels like an authoritative person versus a person who's trying to imitate everything I'm doing outwardly, but they don't have the inward attitude of authority. Eventually it's going to break down. And it's really the attitude you need, because the attitude controls the behavior. Like if you feel you're in charge, there's certain aspects of your behavior which will be naturally correcting. Others are a little more difficult. If you've been poorly trained for a long time, like your posture, if you're hunched over, you might consciously need to stand up straight. But other things like your voice tone, when you're in charge and you expect to be done and somebody's not doing it, look, do what I tell you, right? That might be more natural. Your underlying attitude is everything. So you need to have, first and foremost, before you address all these symptoms, you need to realize there's this attitude that needs to be there, the authoritative attitude. So it's tough sometimes because there's chicks that, like, I'll be talking to a chick who's like, okay, like this chick was pretty decent, milfy, but then there's like a hotter, younger chick right there, and I'm like, oh. It's like, do I gamble and go, well, this one's a sure thing, but on the other hand, I don't just want a sure thing, I want a chick I'm actually going to be into for a long term.
Yes.
So it's difficult in that sense, in that sometimes I get myself roped in thinking, if I haven't talked to a hot chick for a while, I'm thinking, oh, I got to settle for this chick, there's no other chicks around. So sometimes that becomes a problem, bad habit, or whatever.
I faced that last week. I made out with a cougar.
Oh, you made out with a cougar. You didn't tell me about making out with a cougar.
Yeah.
What the
She was
fuck?
drunk, and so I just went after her and like started making out.
Oh, fuck, you didn't even tell me about this. You didn't post anything about it? Nothing.
Because I wasn't satisfied because when she took off her clothes.
Now she took off her clothes, so you didn't even tell me any of this.
Yeah, but she doesn't look. She looks alright. Oh wait.
Yeah. Oh, sweet. And they just keep it all secret. I like how you're having some experience. At least, I mean, it's a cougar. You're right. Not top of the line, but
Yeah, but she had kids and stuff. So
yeah, but you're not even sharing your experience or anything.
Because after that, I didn't like. I was like, I need hotter chicks. I need.
Yeah, of course you need hotter chicks, but it's like the fact that you were able to attract a chick is significant in itself. Not just you didn't get the chick you wanted.
Well, I banged a cougar in the past. 6 months ago, I banged a cougar.
Yeah, but that was 6 months ago. This is different. It's like, were you able to just meet that girl, a stranger, and attract her?
Yeah, she was drunk, and I was able to.
Well, there you go. I mean, you had things working in your favor. She's drunk, but at least you had to go forward and make the effort, and you did it. So it's like you put enough things together to attract another woman. So the possibility is there of getting a cougar.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes,
Yeah, but you didn't share this.
Well.
Yeah,
I was gonna tell you. I was gonna tell you.
Well, because you retarded students don't like to share your experience, and you're not sure what's informative, what's helpful. You just keep things to yourself, thinking that's how this class works. If you're the most secretive guy, you're gonna have the best classroom experience. Wrong.
Okay.
Wrong. Who the fuck just sent me? Wait. Uh-oh. Looks like we got a new student. Hold on. Pause the phone for a second. Let's not pause, but you'll see Willie Survive was been hanging around the forum for a while, and I guess he decided it was time to join. So now we have a new student. Awesome. It's a new student.
Oh yeah, Willie survived. He asked me how to enroll. Yeah, I remember.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Sunday, he was asking me questions.
I like hearing that double chime of the new student signing up. It's a pleasant sound to me. It's a pleasant sound in my ears to hear new students interested in not only working on their social expectation their social skills, but basically developing a spine. It's very exciting for me, I must say. It's a thrilling feeling to get a new student. And we've seen it live. This is live. This is like on screen we're catching a shark. Willie Survive. Woo! Administrate user. I'm going to click and say, go ahead, put in my password, ACP. Go to groups. Doop.
And after I was done with this cougar, I was talking to a man and stuff, and she's all intrigued now. She keeps texting me.
She's still texting you. Oh, Boggles, your Indian balls in my
I
mouth.
put her on the bed, I pinned her down and stuff, and
So
she liked
delicious. Welcome aboard, sir. You're all set. We have a new student. Okay, so back to this point. So that was the first chick, the milfy chick. Then the second chick was, let's see, it was the two Muslim girls.
Okay.
Now I've never picked up a Muslim girl before, but this was with a cock blocker, and two chicks are much harder to pick up than one chick because that you got to entertain the one you don't like. So there was a chick just standing right next to the other chick, and they were getting salad dressing for the salads. And I was making some comments.
They're wearing a scarf?
They're wearing the headscarf things, and I could see, I was like, well, I'm not interested usually in a Muslim chick, but I could see from the side of their faces, like pretty sparkling eyes. I was like, oh, these chicks are kind of hot.
So the face was nice, but you don't know about her hair.
Yeah, you don't know the hair, but I'm always assuming it's like luxurious brown, flowing hair. So I'm like, okay, why not? So then I start talking, some chit chat, and then all of a sudden she's shy. I could see that because she doesn't really respond in the beginning. So then I just keep stimulating. I say something else. Say, oh, what about this? And the chick is like, okay, let's go. And then she's open because she's kind of staying there. And then I say, oh, I can't wait. I want to. And then I just go instantly because I know the other chick's going to pull away any second because she wants to go. And so I say, oh, I can't. I want to see you again because you have such beautiful, gorgeous eyes. I want to date you. I want to I want to go. Still Rob's thing. I want to have a churro and go on a Ferris wheel. No, I did not. Sorry, I did not. I was thinking about all the students stealing that. And I was at a crosswalk coming back from the beach, and I was like, that churro Ferris wheel combo is getting famous. I better make a Superman roller coaster and a Slurpee combo. My own Rob story.
Okay.
So anyway, I basically said, hey, let me call you. Oh, I can't call you. It's too soon. I said, let me get your email. And I figured I would never get a chick's email, but I figured this chick's Muslim, so she's maybe super shy. It is justified. So I was like, do I really want to email this chick? And I say, fine, okay. So I say, let's trade emails because I want to see you again. And she's like, give me the email. And the other chick's like, let's go. And she's totally ignoring her, not even acknowledge her. She's like, let's go. And I'm saying, well, how do you spell that? And she's like, A, da-da-da, da-da-da. And then she's like, come on, let's go. And she's just not even looking at her. So she's just trying the television.
You have to tell the cop, like, hey, hold on.
Right.
He was ignoring her.
So, emailed her back and forth, and it was going. It was good. I could tell this is not a problem. The only thing is she's Muslim, so she's waiting for marriage and da da da. And I'm like, oh, do I really want to work that hard? No. So I just said, no, thanks.
Yeah, because I always wonder how you work the social expectations,
But the funny thing was all three of these chicks all responded, were all open, and even with the numbers afterward, because like it's normal for like if you're talking to maybe 5 chicks, that maybe one of them answers and the other 4 flake. But I'm getting more of a better read on just the opening part is when you're creating the attraction, when you're stimulating her. That's very important, leading to a number not flaking. So the third chick was I was leaving, and so I wasn't 2 for 2. I had actually talked to other chicks, but I had got the number or the contact information of these 2 chicks. And then the third chick was I was leaving, and then I see this chick standing on the side, this blonde chick with like great legs, and I was like, oh, well, I gotta go. I might as well. So I was looking for the other chick to make sure she was gone, so she would get totally jealous. And then I go ahead, talk to her, blah, 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 state some interest and number, and, oh, you're so forward, oh, you're and just basically close her. And we're good to go. So then I'm set to meet up with this chick after work for some coffee somewhere. Just another pretense to meet up again. We meet up at this coffee shop, and I see this hot chick, and that was the super hot, difficult chick. And with this chick, it's on. The chick I picked up, the blonde chick with the nice legs, I have her sitting in my lap and everything, and we're making out. And this other chick I realize is watching us from the window. She's sitting in Starbucks, and she's on her phone and doing miscellaneous things. But on the other hand, she's also watching me talk to this chick and holding her and making out with her. And then I send her off. I gotta go or something. But really, I'm trying to make an excuse so I can finally talk to this chick. So I go inside, order some, something, and then I come down and sit at the table across from her, and I just make the pretense like she's got a computer out. And I say, oh, that's an apple, and da-da-da, I have an apple, blah, blah, blah. So just a pretense to talk to her. And she's, after about 5 minutes, she realized, or she says, that was a pretense to talk to you, and you're basically violating social expectations by doing this. And then I realized, whoa, this chick is talking about, like, social norms and things like that. And so she's somewhat intelligent. And so that kind of intrigued me, and we started talking, and I was like, this is probably one of the smarter hot chicks I've talked to, so that was intriguing. And then we started going for hours, got her outside, and then because she's so used to getting her way, she's a total bitch, so I got to manage that while giving her incentives, so I got to answer her mischaracterizations, her dysfunctional views, expectations, and introduce my own and say, and create and said, I like you, I think you're this and that, I can't wait to see you again.
But she saw you making out with the other chick?
Yes, and this was the funny part was she saw me making out, she's like, oh, you seem interested in that other girl, and da-da-da, and I said, no, that first date didn't go well.
Nice.
Meanwhile, I was like, okay, I'll meet you Friday, alright, see you later, so I'll talk to you Friday, so I said goodbye to her, and then I said, oh yeah, that didn't work out. She's sitting on my lap the whole time.
You just and then I realized it wasn't good.
Yeah, I was like, oh, she just talked to me, told me some things, and I said I wasn't interested. So, again, it goes to the idea that it's almost like social status. Like if people like you and you're able to sway other girls, you have some social status. There must be something about you that's attractive. Yes. So it's kind of like you're associated with Michael Jordan. Oh, you must be a cool guy, So guilt by association. You're making out with chicks. Somebody must like you. You must be likable for some reason.
Girls like you.
So it's kind of like it made her instantly receptive to at least talking to her initially, but it maybe hurt my chances. Like if I did make out with that girl, that it might be harder to open her up in the beginning. Yeah. But on the other hand, it's also harder to like justify talking to her, being attracted to her. Why I was making out with this chick about 2 seconds ago. Yeah, so that makes it a little difficult on both hands. But again, if you're going forward and saying, look, throw up a token like, hey, it didn't work out and I like you, and just concentrate on my expectation that I like you, it's okay that I like you, and I want to tell you why, and not harp so much and worry about her expectation or just invalidate her expectation, disapprove of it, apply pain, whatever you want to say about her expectation. So it was a chore. I'm not going to lie. It was fucking difficult as hell. And besides that, I gave her my number, which I'd never do. I'm like, look, I take it or forget it. But because she was hot and because I felt I had frustrated her enough. Plus, she had a good response after the frustration. And she was like, I'm ready to punch you in the face because you're trying to do this and that. Because she's so controlling in the conversation.
So you
but
don't
meanwhile,
fear frustrating the girl.
Yes, I'm very controlling. And if a girl's getting her way, she's going to be frustrated by me.
So you don't fear frustrating a girl?
No, not at all. Not at all. So she's almost like a bunch of times, she's like, oh, I want to punch you in the face. You're so controlling and this and that. Meanwhile, I just like, you got to relax and say, look, she's just as controlling. But she has no fucking clue what she's doing. So I got to invalidate and say, look, your expectation's crazy because of this. You're being a hypocrite. But on the other hand, I got to go, look, relax. I always got to remember that we're not competing. I got to remember the reason I'm talking to you or even answering your dysfunctional expectations so we can get a relationship. So I got to say in so many words like, look, the reason I'm talking to you is not because I'm trying to compete with you because I like you. And meanwhile, you're trying to compete with me like we're in a life and death struggle. Like I hate you. You got to understand. The only reason I'm talking to you is I like you. I have a crush on you. I think I like your beautiful eyes. So keep going to my expectation, but at the same time, not making it competitive. Yes, it is competitive by nature of what we're doing. I'm competing with her expectations and squashing them. That's creating the frustration, the anger in her. But by the same token, I'm also letting her know, here's the pleasurable incentive. My expectation is leading to a relationship with you. My expectation is leading to us getting to know each other. My expectation is leading to us having a happy, satisfying time together. So that has to be the bottom line. If you're gonna apply pain, they have to know that your end result is a pleasurable result, not pain just because you're being vindictive or you hate them or you're an evil person. Because they're gonna think that if you don't clarify your expectation, look, it's pain because of this. It's pain because of this. It's pain because of this. Especially in the beginning when they have no emotional investment in you. They have no reason to listen to your authority. They have no reason to follow you. It's very important that if you're applying any type of pain that you also show some incentive. Like the reason why I'm doing this is because I like you or I want to get, or I'm interested in you. Something along those lines. This was more necessary for her. Other chicks, it's not always so necessary. You can,
Like straight pain.
yeah, apply straight pain. Look, do it this way. Or look, that's wrong. This is better. Versus some girls will be too hurt and offended when you say that's wrong. Like you're judging me, you're being mean to me, and you gotta let those girls know when they bring it up that, look, I'm not trying to compete with you. I like you. That's why I'm talking to you in the first place. If I didn't like you, because they're always worried, you don't respect me. If I didn't respect you, I wouldn't be talking to you. I'd just ignore you. So again, you gotta let her know these expectations, yours are off, are wrong, are not helpful. Mine are good. Thumbs down to yours, thumbs up to mine.
Yes.
So who knows? This one, it could go either way. She goes, oh, there's a good chance I'll try and contact you, blah, blah, blah. But on the other hand, she was saying, oh, I want it to be chance. I want to see you again. And here's the times I'm going to be here at the coffee shop to bump into. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to stay at this shop and see you next time. I don't care how fucking hot you are. Maybe if she's super hot, I'd stake out the coffee shop. No, I don't think so. So that was the 3. And then I guess you could call that 4. It was 4. 4 in a row. So, no, 4 chicks that I potentially picked up. 3, yes.
Hot. Yeah, okay.
And then the 4th one at the coffee shop, which I guess you would count. Oh, actually, maybe you could say 5 because I went in the supermarket, and there's other chick. She says, I had to realize because I got the call and I realized how to kind of get over to the shop because I told her I'd be there in a second, and I wasn't there the first time I said I would be there, and then the second time I said I'm just down in the store. I'll walk over there in a second. And I hung up and I saw this chick there with like nice tits, nice ass. And I was like, oh man, all right, I might as well real quick. So if I'm doing this quick, I got to make my intention known really quickly. So we just instantly start, good body language, everything coming to her. Hey, blah, blah, blah. Oh, look at that gorgeous hair. Yum. And then she's saying something and kind of being kind of flirty. And I'm saying something like, I say something like of a sexual nature, like, oh, you know what I want to do to you? Da, da, da. This would be, oh, you make me want to do this, that. So building the pretense like your gorgeous hair makes me want to insert sexual expectation. And she goes, look, that right there, oh, that's a total turn off. I can't believe you said that. That's terrible. That is like when guys do that on a first date, that's such a turn off to me. I leave. I walk away.
Yeah, Indian girl style on you.
Yeah, so she went Indian girl style. This is a blonde, like older lady, probably like 30s, something like that. So she's like, oh no, that was a total turn off. And I just go, I don't care. So I'm just like full sarcasm. I'm going, yes, you're right. I should have never said that. That's so terrible. Because on one hand, I didn't want to create a scene because I was trying to leave. But on the other hand, I was like, I didn't really do this by the way I would recommend students like, apply pain to her expectation and reinforce your expectation because I didn't care. I was just trying to get out of there so I can go meet this girl. But so I was kind of just doing it in the least offensive way possible. So I just kind of excused myself. So I started being super sarcastic, going, "Yeah, you're totally right. I'm just gonna, you know what? Just tell me what to do next time so I don't blow it. I'm gonna fuck him next time. Yeah, you were so gorgeous. You just made me go crazy. I gotta go." And she goes, "But I'm gonna give you a second chance." I'm walking away. She's all, "Oh, give me your number." I was like, okay. So technically, we'll call that 5. But the point is, what was the point? I don't think there was any point. I just want to share some stories about being out there and socializing. And I wanted to maybe hit some educational points along the way if possible. And I think I hit a couple.
Yeah, we covered some concepts.
Some concepts. I always want to relate it to the principles we're teaching in social interaction. I don't want to just talk to you just for the sake of rambling on. This is not I don't want to make this into an entertainment podcast, even though I realize that this is going to be entertaining, and it is entertaining in some respects. But I wanted it to always be this is a classroom setting. I want it to be more educational than entertaining. So the other point I wanted to make that I think I forgot was it's kind of a sub point, but when it rains, it pours.
Yes, okay.
You know, when I'm pausing and I forget a point, I'm like, I ramble on. Like I do the Indian thing that you do. You say, and now I'm going to conclude the sentence, and I hate when you do that. It's like the worst thing when you write and you go, now here's my conclusion.
I think I cut down on that.
Yeah, thank you. It's just as bad to me, like me saying, and now I want to cover this point. When I say that, I'm really just like kind of stalling and trying to figure out what my point was and trying to make it coherent so it's not pauses and I'm not stuttering and I'm like blah, 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 right, getting tongue-tied.
I found a better way to do it. I do in conclusion now.
In conclusion. I hate that too. Yeah, those are all like amateur ways of getting to your conclusion. Just conclude. Get to it.
Okay.
So my point was when it rains, it pours. That was the point I was trying to make. When it rains, it pours. Like when things happen, it's like there's a dry spell.
Yeah.
Like usually at this one place, I usually don't pick up chicks at this one place, but all of a sudden I picked up 3 chicks within an hour at this one place. And then altogether that day I picked up 5 chicks, you could say. So when it rains, it pours, which is kind of like always I've realized when I'm talking to people and whatnot, like it'll be days, weeks maybe without a pickup, and then all of a sudden, boom, flood. Yes, granted, there are times when I pick up a girl here or there, sporadically, but when it rains, it pours. Sometimes it feels really good because you're getting super awesome results, and other times you just don't get that validating result, or you just feel like girls are ignoring you and you're not getting anywhere, and you just tell yourself, nobody loves me, and it feels like it's raining and pouring in a bad way. So it swings both ways. I don't know if that's your experience, but that's always my experience. So I learned when it rains, it pours.
So if you're going through a dry spell, it's okay.
It's okay. Wow, you won't believe this. How long do you think this podcast has gone on?
Hour and a half or something?
Well, I don't know if I'm seeing things, but total podcast time is 3 hours. Holy fucking mammoth podcasts. I think I'm going to end it here.
Okay.
And I want all the students to know, have a fun time in class. We'll see you later. This is Professor Plum and Boggs signing off.
Signing off.
Toodaloo.